children, you don't know who you can trust. 'Cause man, the man is so unjust. Your worst enemy could be your best friend. And your best friend, your worst enemy. Some will eat and drink with you. And behind you, they're gonna sister bind you. Whatever sister binding is, that's not a good thing. Stop sister binding. Only your friends know your secrets and your identities and labels, so only E could reveal it. And who the cap fits, if it fits, go on and wear it. And don't none of your caps fit me. If the cap fits, let if it fits. Shut up, Gerard. Good morning, everybody. Comaton. Whatever comaton is, don't do that. And no carnivals. Carnivals are good. And the cloo, 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 coo, coo, coo. Virus. Good morning, everybody. All right, Bob, shut up. I love Bob to death, man. Ooh, who the cap fits, let them wear it. Oh, goodness. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. Not happy Juneteenth. Not supposed to be happy. Enlightened Juneteenth, everybody. Enlightened Juneteenth. Nobody do not want to talk about Juneteenth unless y'all want to. We have to, if we have to. To me, I'm just trying to figure out why I got blick grounds all over my daggone Facebook. Is it just me? Is it just me? The white folk, y'all got blick just hands and fists everywhere, afros and all kind of crazy chains. It's all over my droid. I didn't show you the blick grounds. Y'all don't have blick grounds? Do y'all have blick grounds? I got blick grounds everywhere. I think they're for conflict. I think they want me to post the blick grounds so I can get to arguing and fussing and fighting with people. Have y'all seen the white, y'all got the blick grounds? The yellow people, does everybody have them? You know what I was thinking about the blick grounds and all? I bet you if I go to Google, because Google does it, right? When you go to Google, I bet, has anyone gone to Google? Google probably has a bunch of froze and fists right above the search bar. I haven't gone to Google in a minute. I use Ecosia. I think it's a good idea to plant trees as I search for what the hell is wrong with my world. Good morning, everybody. Happy Freedom Friday. Do y'all feel free? Bubble people. Oh my goodness, do I hate California. Oh my goodness. Y'all just at the top of my day don't want to ever leave. What is the name of this monster? I call him Gavin Newsom. That's all I'm gonna say. This dude, what, y'all got to wear a mask permanently now or something in California? Man, I don't like this guy. I love him to death. I'm gonna have to pull a Martin Luther King on this man. I don't even know. I don't know if he's Republican or Democrat, Decepticon or Democrat. I have no idea what I don't like the dude. The dude saying people need to wear a mask. Did y'all see? Ooh, somebody sent me a video. I couldn't find it. I wanted to show it to you. Or maybe it was Instagram. I don't remember. Where they were testifying. There was a doctor up there saying, you better not put all these masks on these kids and send them back to school, because when these kids start falling out, you ain't got nobody to blame but yourself. And you will play my video. Y'all, do you know what I'm talking about? Was she a doctor? Who was she? She said, you gonna play my video and you got all these kids with hypoxia and all this stuff. I have no idea who this dude is. I don't like him. I don't like him. I love him to death. He's family, he's a cousin, but I don't like him. I don't think he's too smart. And then somebody posted, he had oh, y'all don't know what I'm talking about? You know me, I get to going. California is a nation state within the United States corporation, colonized land owned by the Washington, D.C. criminal corporation that invaded the United States and stole all everybody's land. Kind of like Black Wall Street. A little different. See, I've been posting this morning and I put my blick grounds on the back only because my friends know me. They know that I'm not here to play tribal monkey. I'm a wolf. No, I am not a dog. Dogs respond to designations. I don't do designations. You put something in the media and it says, black people unite, black people rise up, black people get in the bubble, black people go over here. Yeah, I'm going the other way. I'm going the other way. And I think the black people started listening too. I do. Because they can't find anybody for the cuckoo virus cure. Did y'all see that? I think it was NBC News. Somebody sent that to me. they said the cuckoo virus cure testing ain't gonna work if we can get more black people together to go test. And black people are like, oh no, all right, I'm starting to see through the matrix now. No, I remember the Tuskegee experiment. You ain't putting nothing in me. That's a good thing. That's progress. Why are so many white people lining up? Y'all need to question your system. I don't know who the is, but you need to stop trusting this dude. And I don't know who this science dude is. This man is a problem. Okay, he keep changing his damn mind, because that's who the Gavin Newsom Newsom I wouldn't trust anybody with that last name. I have issues with history, and besides the fact he's quoting science. What did he say? What was his quote? I can go back and forth. I don't like California. I don't like it. I'm not going to California. Nope. I don't like it. I love y'all's weather, and you got beautiful women out there. But no, I'm not going to. I got family out there. We're going to have to distance. We're going to social distance from California. I ain't going there. I'm sorry. Y'all got too many nut jobs. You got homeless people from LA to San Francisco. You got tent cities lined up. And this ignorant man spent $1 billion on N95 masks so people don't get the cuckoo virus. Meanwhile, you got people dying because they don't have food and poo maps. Man, come on. Come on. That's not a government. Come on. California's lost. We lost them. They're not even a nation state. I don't know what they... I love y'all to death, but if you behind enemy lines in California, I don't even know what to tell you. Y'all about to be bubble people soon. About to be bubble people soon. Because that's what... Let me find out about... And I posted, I love viruses this morning. I'm sure that pissed somebody off, but I'm not in your virus fight. I'll tell you about my brother in a minute. I'm not in his fight. He wants me to be in a race fight so bad. And I keep trying to tell him. He's not listening to me. Smart man, but he watches too much of the Washington Post, NBC, ABC, CBS or something. It's rotting out his brain. Keep telling him, you got to get with the black people. Like, no, I don't want to get with the black people. I don't have a label, bro. I'm not livestock. I'm sorry. They've been playing this game 3,000 years on people. By the time people figure this out, I'm not interested in joining. I'm not in the race fight. No, he thinks most of y'all are Donald Trump people. And he might post it. I don't know. He said he was going to ask y'all if y'all Donald Trump, but he thinks everybody here is a conservative because they don't agree with him. I love my brother to death, but boy, I tell you what. Oh man. Slavery is a choice. Slavery is a choice. Slavery is a choice. Hang on. What am I doing? Okay, do that. Boom. Let me bring up the comments. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Y'all enjoying your Friday? Everybody got their bubbles? I need a bubble boy. Where's the bubble boy gift? I like that bubble boy gift. I'm gonna post that all damn day today. Who's that? Is that Anthony Cristella? Man, I ain't seen you in a minute, brother. How you been? That's the brother. He educated me on good and evil. He was the one who changed my mind. I don't believe in good and evil anymore. I believe in sustainable and unsustainable. Anthony Cristella, I know you here. I ain't seen you, brother. He's up in New York. He's up in the colonized state of United Nations of New York. He's up there. It was deep. It was deep. He changed my mind on that one. He definitely changed. It's no good and evil. At least I believe it was him. It was somebody else I'm giving his credit to. Now I'm sorry, but I don't believe in good and evil no more. I don't believe in good and evil people. I don't believe in good. I think it's just sustainable and unsustainable. And that's all you have. Deep, deep, deep. And I think about it all the time. Anyway. Whew. Let me change this. How y'all doing this morning, bubble people? I got my virus behind me because I love viruses. I do. I'm a virus. What are we like, 8% viral DNA or something like that? I love viruses. I'm just not in your virus fight. I'm not going to hide in a bubble. I'm not interested in hiding in your mask. And I think California has lost their damn mind. Lost their damn mind. California is a mentally ill utopia. The planet is too, Christine. It's just, I don't know why California is going along with this nonsense. I understand the politics of it. And if you're in the political struggle, you have to make some choices. I get that. But if you're not looking at the long-term game, you always got to look at from the 30,000-foot level, the long game. Don't look at the short game. We always get played in the long game. That's why I was talking about the blick icons is all over my racist droid Facebook app. Oh my God, I've never seen so many afros and fist pumps and fight the pies and chains in my life. And I don't think I'm going to really support this. I don't think I'm going to support it because like we talked about yesterday, the whole Juneteenth thing, nobody digs deep enough. Like, yeah, that's when the racist black white people came up to burn up the black people. So that's not what happened. Or at least that's not the lesson. Let's say that. That's not the lesson, right? The side effects of side effects of side effects. The lesson was, when you give people that ain't got nothing, people can't read and write, and ain't got nothing, that pot to piss in, to hold the road out, you give them some land, they're going to create a Black Wall Street. All right? That's just how that works out. If you give people ain't got nothing, and they got lighter skin, and you ain't got no pot to piss in, and you give them some land, they're going to create a White Wall Street. That's just how that works out. Yellow Wall Street, Purple Wall Street, and right now we need a Spectrum Wall Street. But I'm not engaging in the Blake ground holiday, whatever this craziness is, until y'all get a white one. Is it what is it? February? Because if today is Juneteenth, this is when all the black people, or a lot of them, black Hollywood lost their, not Hollywood, Wall Street, lost their businesses and land. Then on, is it February 31st? I think it's February. Did I get that right? February 31st? Let me go to the Washington, D.C. Organic Act, when all the white people lost all their land. It's not funny, but it's just how it works. It's just gullible people. When you're gullible and you go kill other people and steal their land, eventually the people who told you to go kill them and steal their land, they're going to come kill you, steal your land too. That's the lesson. The lesson is give everybody land. Take it back from the criminal corporations that aren't even American. They shouldn't even own land. They're not biological. They don't need food, water, air, oxygen, none of that. The people need the land. That's why people are upset. That's why they're upset. So yeah, when y'all create, I want to see on, I think it was, let me see, I'm sure. That's just the Washington, D.C. Act. This is why people don't say nothing else on my thread. Now I got people here talking about the law. The law, man. Respect the law's authority. This is where the law, I do this and they go to the Ku Klux Klan Act or something like that. No, like 1871, that's the only thing you need to focus on. When did that get created? When was it signed? It was signed, no, oh, I messed up. It's February 21st. I'm sorry, it's February signed on the law. Oh, y'all got me doing some fake news. Let me change this. This is when we became a corporation. This is the day that we gave it up. It's February 21st. Look at that. Y'all got me on the fake news, and I bet you nobody caught. Y'all didn't catch it, did it? They probably had no idea what I'm talking about. It's not on Fox News. February 21st. Boom. I think if we can respect everybody's day, everybody lost their land and freedom, they became commodities, then we got something. So if you now we just need to find out when the Asian people lost theirs, when the Latin people lost theirs. We get all the dates, and everybody have their own little black icons and white icons and yellow icons and black grounds and white grounds, and then I'll support it. Until then, it's just tribal. That's all it is. They want you to post something to piss other people off. That's all. Because you post this and you're like, yeah, but my people had land, we lost it too, and then y'all get to fight, and then you forget about the people above you that own all the resources and the countries. I'm just not in the game no more. I'm not in the game no more. Ooh, I got a little something on my screen. What is that? Is that a booger? I don't know what that, my screen looking a little dirty. Let me clean this joke up. How y'all doing? Good morning. Man, I done got a little piece of bacteria virus on there. Bubble people. When y'all looking at me through your mask and seeing the bacteria on the screen. We were talking about the mask this morning. They were asking if any masks are safe. Any masks stop viruses. First of all, I am not a mask maker. I am not a scientist. I am not a doctor. I'm not even a damn American. I'm not a black person. I'm not qualified at all to tell you what to do anything in your life at any time with anything. I'm going to tell you about me. I'm a little man and I got a microscope. And when I look through that little microscope, I see fiber. I see plant fibers and I see cotton fibers. I see cloth. And then I see bacteria eating on them things. Lots of little bacteria, lots of them. You could barely see. I go down to, what's 100x? And I'm like, no, almost 1,000x. And you could barely see, like, little bacteria is making them out, barely see what they are. And viruses get on them jokers. And this is from like a little drop of water, one drop. And I'm just like, well, wait a minute. If bacteria can get through your mask, if bacteria eat on cotton and colonize on cotton strands, You're not gonna make a cloth cotton mask that's gonna stop a virus. It might stop droplets. That's how it might stop a droplet, but it ain't the droplet that's gonna kill you. it's the virus, but I'm not fighting the virus anyway. If you have a problem with viruses, that means that you are eating unhealthy foods, all right? So I'm not in your virus fight. I personally do not like those masks, and I ain't gonna wear them. Damn sure ain't gonna let my kids wear them. This is, oh, let me show you. Oh, I gotta show you what they're doing to these damn kids. Did y'all see this thing? Who posted this free thought project? Hang on, I gotta show you this. I woke up to some damn just straight ignorance this morning. Just ignorance. I love viruses. I'm gonna just keep posting that. I'm gonna post this 8 times. I love viruses. You know why? Because what y'all doing to children. That's why. Let me show you this. They're proposing the new normal. Actually, you know what? Let me do it this way. I want you to see the full pictures. This is what the new normal is gonna look like. I don't know, where did this come from? No, Real Pharmacy. This is Brother Mike. This brother Mike runs Real Pharmacy, right? This is what it's going to look like. This is the new normal, the future. Breaking children, making them psychopathic, narcissistic, hypochondriac that are scared of each other instead of kids that go out there and play and throw boogers on each other and spit how they're supposed to, so they get all the natural immunity that they need to survive. This is what they're proposing. I hear, like, are you gonna send y'all gonna send your kids to this? That's my number one. Are you gonna send your children to stand in line, the bus line like that? That's not a bus line. That's a line for criminals. Okay? The bus line shouldn't look like that. You should have a whole bunch of kids lined up on that sidewalk with book bags and all kind of falling things. 3 little boys in the back fighting and pushing each other, and another boy behind him licking his finger and putting it in Tanisha's ear. That's what's like when I was getting on the bus, and I don't get sick now, so I believe in that world. I believe in the organic world. This is not a bus stop. This is a line for criminals to get on an institutional carrying system to take them to prison. Like this, they got to get on the bus, and they're going to get scanned by this thing right here. This is the heat scanner. Heat scanner to find out if your child is okay to go to school. You can't have no heat on your forehead, because everybody know if you got heat on your forehead, you a new Negro. Because that's how that works out. All this is, and the reason why California and the CDC, they're the ones who put out this regulation. Why? Because they try to make a new categorization of tribal monkeys. And the healthy people and unhealthy people, and the healthy people are criminals. Right? Contact tracing. Dad, yeah, you ain't going, my kid is not going to school, and you're going to scan their forehead for nothing. And if the bus driver looked like that, hell no. I didn't even see this picture. I know. The bus driver, you're not supposed to, she looked like she about to do some welding or something. And she got a face diaper? No, bus driver, you too young anyway. You're supposed to be old and wrinkly, and you yell at children and you throw things at them. That's how my bus driver did. No, that's ridiculous. It's like your kid is infected. Look at this. Sit here? No. Sorry. Nope. One person to sit, one kid per seat. That's not gonna happen. Yes, the wet willy. Who was that? There you go. Maria. She's healthy. She got some wet willy. I hated wet willies. I couldn't stand them things. That's nasty. It's nasty to get one, but it was nasty to give one. Maria, you ever give somebody a wet willy and you pull your finger out and you realize that you put some wet in the willy, but the willy came out with some ear booger wax for you? Oh, it's nasty. And we never washed our hands. Then we went to lunch. Look at this. Look at how they lining these criminals up. Does this look familiar to anybody? I used to go visit my friend and when I was in college, I used to go visit him in prison. And this is how they line them up like that. Treat them like criminals. Get them ready. Look at it. Look, little criminal in training right there. Got your mask on so you don't get nobody sick. Don't get too close. You know what this is walking into? The whole social distancing, contact tracing, 4G plus 1 thing in the schools. Think about the future of this. I was thinking about this morning. When they give those kids app and you got a 4+1 wave, and it's within 2 inches, you can determine if any of these young little criminals violate the distance. And if they violate the distance and we got that social credit score going, you could be at work being really nice and bringing bagels and donuts like in the Black Mirror to get your higher social credit scoring. And it's your child right here, and she step over the line and the app, and it can retract money from your account and penalize you because your little criminal didn't respect the 6 foot distance and could have got her sick, could have got her killed. So this one right here need to charge her parents, and then we got some almost instantaneous 1984 corporal punishment. Now we're just teaching kids how to be institutionalized. what is the elementary school, the prison gateway is shut down. Now it's gonna be all the schools. Look at this. I don't even know what this is. I don't even want it. I would never send my child. Do y'all see this thing at the top? Can y'all see the thing at the top? What the hell is this? Wait a minute. There's a big beam thing coming out the top of the light. Move the picture down. See if y'all can see. You know what? I have to rescan that. There's a big, looks like a projector thing. What the hell is that? Let me show you this. Hold on. This is insanity, people. This is this is crazy. We gonna do this to our kids? Y'all really going for this? And California leading the way? No, my kids ain't going this, man. No. We gonna have to figure some private school money. We gonna have to eat some rice and beans and bread, and we're gonna save up some money. You're all going to private school with the rich kids. You are not going to be treated like no criminal, no public school. Look at this thing. What is that? Somebody know what that is? What is that death ray thing at the top? Is that made by Raytheon? What is it? Oh my gosh. Look at this. This is crazy. I need to go on a super vacation now. No, Citizen Deb, you can't go nowhere. You here with us. You know, you in slavery, you in colonizer hell. No, we need to figure this out. We need to work together, and we need to say no to this. This is insanity. This is what I'm saying. If the cap fits, wear it. They're trying to make you bubble people. No. That's why I love viruses. People don't know what viruses are. I love them to death. I love them. They're a natural part of it. Look at this. This Asian woman, she about to shoot somebody. And look at but it looked like a koala bear, so that's not supposed to scare children. You got a gun with a trigger, and they put a koala bear on the front of it. Maybe they can get that to the police. Maybe that maybe that won't scare people. This is crazy. How are you gonna be? Listen, now I know it's not scary to you because y'all grown and big, got muscles and stuff. But think of this like from a little kid's perspective. Like, think about it, you know, this woman a monster, number one. The woman like weigh 4 times what you weigh that you do when you're 7 years old. And teachers are scary as hell anyway. My brother's a teacher, he's scary. They scary as hell anyway. And now they got guns? Come on, man. Y'all, what we gonna do? We gonna do this? We're gonna let the undo this. And that dude science that keep changing his mind, there ain't nobody met them. Please keep 6 foot distance, person max. Only 4 kids can go in the bathroom at a time. No, that ain't gonna work out. Nope. Because when I had to go, when I got to go now, you ain't no. It's going. You better put some urinals right outside the bathroom. I know when it's time to go, you got to go. No, I used to eat that school lunch. And not short after that, you know, you get the bubble guts. You know, as a child in high school, you learn. You go to the bathroom in the morning time, because after you eat that pizza and drink that colonizer milk and get them tater tots, if they still got that, no, it's gonna be a line and it's gonna be accidents all outside. You worry you're gonna need a bioweapon suit and some laboratories to come clean up that hallway. No, kids, that's gonna be y'all protest. Y'all listen, if you got to go and it's 4 and somebody out there with a gun tell you can't go in, you take your gun out. No, we're gonna drop it right here. You can clean it up. The janitor's gonna quit. Every last one of them gonna quit. Ain't gonna be janitors in school no more. They're gonna get at the Raytheon. Hey, look at this. No, what is she taking their picture or something? No, man, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Making our schools, what is that? Community centers. These are looking like institutions to me, Jack. These are looking like prison systems. Both the country's phone service was out on Monday. I mean, half the country's phone was out on Monday. What happened on Monday? Or this Monday is coming, or happened last Monday? My phone wasn't out, Craig. And the desk. No, look at that. No, the desks are too far apart. No. The desks are social distance. Nope. Because you can't hit nobody in the back of the head with a spitball. Nope. Don't want it. Sorry. That's horrible. And the teacher got mad, and the kids are wearing masks in class. No, sorry. Got too many nurse friends. And kids can't sign disclaimers to wear these masks anyway. I don't think they're gonna know when to take them off. I don't think they're gonna know when to breathe in oxygen. They're gonna sit there and rebreathe. No, not mine. You can do that to yours. I ain't doing that to mine. Safe, healthy, responsible, stand here. And they're gonna put those all over the schools, probably like the grocery stores. Nope. My answer is no. So you can say I'm not being safe, but I don't think we live. I don't. There's nothing about being a United States commodity because we're not citizens. There's nothing safe about that. Besides, the virus is too small. They can get on bacteria. Ain't no piece of cotton. There is no strand technology that I'm aware of that's gonna stop bacteria, let alone virus that can get on bacteria. Nope, it's not gonna work. Not gonna work. I'm done with it. Yeah, it look like the prison system, Jasmine. You gonna send that your new little baby there to teach it, let it be raised to be scared of other people, right? Like, to me, that's just another division thing. It's another division tactic, right? They're just creating a new race. They're creating a group of people that are scared of other people. Call them the hypochondriacs, right? They're just creating more division, more divide and conquer. You know, and if you get the virus for that year, you got to get your shot. What are they saying now? Like every 6 months or something like that. Is anybody noticing that cure is curing less and less every day? First it was one size fits all, one time fits all. Then it's once a year. Now it's like every 6 months they think that you got to get this. This is ridiculous, people. You're not going to live as a bubble person. You're going to die. Banks here take your temperature too. What? Don't even ask permission. I wonder why they still insist on rectal I wonder when they'll insist on rectal temperatures. Well, Brenda, I'm pretty sure that's not too far down the road. I think Dave Chappelle told you that's how they used to identify him. I'm pretty sure at some point in time that they're going to do that because people are going for it. As long as we go for it, it's coming. As long as we go for it, they'll do anything to us to humiliate us, to build. Like, you people that, all right. You can't humiliate yourself. My friends, hopefully I don't think it was any of my white friends, is out in the street beating themselves with pain sticks, rolling over in the ground on chains, humiliating themselves, apologizing for something they ain't never did, but never here, and their family ain't never on the land, ain't got nothing to do with it anyway. Slavery. I'm sorry that y'all need to abuse your white friends and put them in chains. I don't do that. I go with my white friends to the gun range. Okay? I'm not a dog. I'm not a Fido. I'm sorry. I am a wolf. And no, I'm not a violent man. I'm a peaceful man. I'd rather have proud people who are upstanding, who won't humiliate themselves by rectal scans or face diapers or rolling around in the street in some damn chains. You're not going to fight the power that way. You're not going to fight. If you'll capitulate to that type of abuse, you're not going to fight the power. So y'all put your white friends in chains. I'm going to go with mine to the gun range because you don't never know what you're going to need. Not my choice. Not my choice. I don't think that we need to have that. But if you live in the most violent gun trafficking corporation pretending to be a government in the world, you better know how to take care of yourself. So yeah, I'm not doing that. But yeah, I think the rectal scans probably ain't too far away. Credit unions are bad or worse. Yeah, well, you know what? And the other thing there, Brenda, is we shouldn't be going to the bank anyway. Y'all, we got to figure out a way past the banks. They're talking about community banks. That might be a good idea. Anything but central bank. The smaller the bank, the family banks, local banks, town banks, and then get rid of money and just go back to barter. Because money is just a source of control anyway. Find the people who know and empower them. And that's all you can do, Jack. You can't force nobody to do nothing. All you can do is find people and try to enlighten them. That's all you can do. And if they want to live in a fake fantasy television political world, then you just let them. I think nature will go the way it's supposed to anyway. Hey, Walt, good morning. Good morning, Christine. It is pathetic. It's pathetic that anybody would ever even think about subjecting their kids to this nonsense. Never. We are one. We are one, Melissa, but not everybody knows that. Not everybody knows that. They're still divided up by their birth bigotries. They're still divided up by their identities. They're these labels, these identities that serve as dog collars, right? So when I posted something this morning, it made me think, what did I post about dogs? I just mentioned that. Like if you respond to Fido, if you respond to Christian, you respond to Muslim, you respond to Blick, you respond to the way the media likes to drive you around and put your label in the title, the headlines of news articles. You respond when your leaders call you. You will never be free. You'll never be free. If you are in a group, you have groupthink. You're never going to escape that. So that's the problem, Melissa, is we are one. And so they know that if they can break us up into subhuman groups, they can drag us around on leashes anytime they want to call us. Fido! Come here, boy. Here come the black people. Here come the white people. And until people get rid of those labels, they're going to just be like, that's just a place to attach a collar. Anytime they need to get some activity out of you, they scream racism. They scream immigration. They scream jobs. They scream universal health care. Meanwhile, everybody's got everything in common. You got these criminal elite that are calling everybody above the people calling you that you're responding to, and they own everything. They took all the resources in the land, and you don't own no property. They follow the rules. Yes, Kristen, that's all they want. They need you to follow the rules. Everything is about control. I never rode a school bus in my life. I always lived close to my schools. Did you walk? I rode a school bus eventually in like middle school, I think, because I was so far away in high school. But elementary school, I walked to school, brother. Was you there? Rain, shine, tornado, didn't really matter. We was walking to school. I told my kids that in a big old book bag and a saxophone. Walking to school, it'll make you healthy. Fight with your friends on the way, get tripped up, fall in some dirt, get some viruses in your face and your nose and take them in. Viruses are a part of us. Schools in a new prison, Hillary saying, Hillary, I think schools always were prison. I just think that now they're making it more and more obvious because we've been capitulating and going along for so long now. I think they should just go ahead and take the elementary school thing off the front and go ahead and just put correctional institution to make sure that your children are correct. Like, yeah, and people will cheer for that probably. I want my kids to be correct. Socially correct in the new normal. it'll say elementary of corrections, and then we can get them like little jackets and shirts that say like ECI, elementary connect correctional, and people will cheer for it. You know they cheer for it. You know they will. They'll respond to that. They'll be like, Fido, come here, Fido. We want to make your kids correct. And they'll run for it because their politicians say it. And if a politician or the leaders of their movement, if they say it, then yeah, it must be a good idea. Woo! All the isms. That's right, Melissa. All the isms. How you divide people up. All manipulation. Yes, it is. They just want to control people. I drink too much coffee and can't stop shaking now. Well, Christ is probably not just the coffee. Yeah, coffee will do that, but we know that you got a morning habit that goes along with that coffee. And that's only because you're born in a criminal, defiant, dark, evil time where women have to have extra natural things to get up in the morning. Some of them choose the natural route and the others use the antidepressant chemical route. But I'll always go back to that statistic, Christ, and I ain't talking about you because I get it, girl. I get it. Like I said, you got one abused group on this planet that every group abused, and it ain't got nothing to do with skin color. Jasmine, don't let it piss you off. Jasmine said that all of this pisses her off. Don't let it piss you off. This is I think we're on an awakening. I think we're turning. I don't think people are going to go for it. The NBC article that you can't find no black people to go get the cure and be in a study. That's telling me the people, they're learning. They're learning. Sometimes you got to get hit in the head to realize that rocks hurt. So that's all right. Antidepressants almost killed me. And they're supposed to, Christ. They are supposed to. They're not supposed to go in your body. Not natural ones. Not the ones that pharmaceutical ones. They're not ever supposed to be in your body. And you know that. And that's why you're on the natural ones. And please educate who you can. If you didn't evolve taking it, then you don't need it. People have been happy since the beginning of time. For 1 billion years almost. Or 350 million. However long the monkeys have been here. Been happy a long time, swinging from the trees, sniffing each other's butts, eating some bananas, having a great time. Nobody needed antidepressants for 350 million years. You don't need them now. Okay, and it probably ain't even 350 million years. But nobody knows because nobody was back then. You put those drugs in your body, the epigenetics will flip your DNA and you'll have a problem. And you'll, I don't know, grow a testicle on your ear or something. You're not going to be happy. I don't know what's going to happen. But don't put any chemicals in your body. You need to be strong. Flu season's coming again next year. Every chemical you put in your body, your immune system has to fight. And the doctors know that. The scientists know that. The pharmaceutical industry, they've known that for damn near, 20 years now? They've been talking about epigenetics and gene alteration from the chemicals you put in your body, from the Lysol you spray in your house. You better be natural. There go Anthony Costello. He's the one who taught me that. Yeah, all you have, brother, is sustainable and unsustainable. In Hong Kong, they're taking out the cameras. Oh, yeah, in Hong Kong, they're taking out the cameras. In the UK, they're taking out something else that you're not allowed to say. Otherwise, they delete the video. And to me, that's a rise up. That's a rise up. That's being a defiant wolf. You don't want to be a dog. You don't. Do y'all understand that? Come here, fighter. Woo. Come here. Woo. Chase the ball. Here's a bone. No, you want to be a wolf. What do wolves do, Anthony? You know, when you call a wolf. Come here, black people. Come here. I need you to riot. Here's some bricks. We're going to break the window for you. What you need to do? No, you need to be a wolf like, yeah, okay, I know you're going to call me Fido. A wolf will sit there and growl at you. Growl to get the master's attention. Call me Fido. Knowing the rest of the pack is circling around the back. So yeah, you can call us Fido if you want. Nah, we ain't got no masters. We wolves. Sovereign wolves. Now you go ahead and put that thing up. I'm going to take it down. Put it up. Long as you put it up, I'm going to take it down. And that's what needs to happen. From my perspective, nobody consented to a worldwide police state. Nobody consented to global control. Which is why one reason I'm happy, I don't see many people talking politics no more. I don't see people posting about Biden and Trump, how they gonna come and save us, and QAnon, and all the rest of the. I think people who are paying attention are now really starting to see that there is a global control, new world order thing going on. And we've been told for a long time. Did y'all watch the watch party from yesterday? Obama, and they're saying now that Obama and Barry Soetoro, who was that? Who was that? Judge Joe Brown that gave that out and said that Obama's family, his grandfather, like I said, he came from a poor family. Now they're saying no. They're saying that most of that wealth is in Indonesia, and they're in the top 15 wealthiest families in the world. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Now you know why Citigroup, the bank, the people who are enslaving us, picked his entire cabinet. And it ain't just about him, because we know same thing with Trump. Same thing with. It's funny, my brother's like, yeah, everybody on your page is a conservative. Like, no, they're not. I don't think they are. I think most people on my page are starting to really figure this thing out, because Trump had the what was a casino that was going out, and he went to the Rothschilds for help, and they came in and bailed him out. Come on. And so now he owes a debt to them. And now all this stuff is making sense. Like now he's supporting concentration camps. He's supporting forced vaccinations of military. Tried to get us into a few wars. Doing the opposite of what people voted for. And it's just, I think, that's why I think we're in an awakening time. Like around the world. And then you go back and listen to all the presidents, right? They all talked about the New World Order. Even Tony Blair talked about it. All the rest of them. What's that? The woman's name from the UK, the prime minister. I forgot her name. She mentioned it all. They all talked about this new world order, this conspiracy theory, which is now an actual website, the UN.newworldorder, y'all some slaves.org. So I think people are waking up. I think they are. I think it's more obvious that you don't actually have any governments, probably anywhere in the world, not any power. If you got some power, you most likely have a corporation. You just need to look up the laws. You don't make any decisions in your government, you are owned. You are a commodity, and there's global control that's happening. There was something else on that New World Order thing. Obama stuff, that was news to me. I didn't know that. But it made sense. It didn't surprise me. It's like, he's from the wealthiest family. Like, you go look at the president's bloodlines, like, they're all, like, close cousins, except for, like, two. But that's just how the world works. It works on power and money. Yeah, Margaret Thatcher, she mentioned the New World Order. George Bush, you put all that together, and now you see what's happening globally. They're trying to make bubble people all over the world, right? And they're using a global pandemic as an excuse. You still hide in your house. You're playing politics. You wait till all this rolls out. You realize on the other side of this, your children will be completely enslaved. Time to grow up. Time to grow a pair. Time to pull them big panties up, the big drawers up, and act like you are actually in this fight. Teach your kids to read, work on phonics. Yeah, well, you know what, Brenda? I think we have to go back to homeschooling, community schooling, school marms, whatever. Like, you have to exit. Anytime, anywhere you can be defiant, you got to be defiant. Anything the system wants you to do, you got to go the other way. If they want the poor kids going to schools that look like prisons, and you know not to send your kids there. You know, start working on other plans to do some homeschooling. A lot of great homeschools out there. Fix your world. Don't medicate our youth. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. But you know what, Jasmine? I think first you have to think about, is the world broken? Most people don't think the world is broken. Most people want to rule the world. They want to take over the plantation. They don't want to end it. What do you think about the WTO riots Where about before the kids from Capitol Hill joined the fray? What are WTO riots? What's WTO? You know, I don't pay attention to. I don't watch the news. Both. What's WTO? World Trade Organization. Is that the WTO we're talking about? All right, I'll read over here because I can't see it. What do you think about the WTO riots? Whereabout? Before the kids from Capitol Hill joined the fray. I didn't see it. Should I look that up? Is that important, y'all? I think that if you mean World Trade Organization and people protesting that, I think that those people know what they're doing. I think if you're burning down a Target, I know you got some needs, you're taking care of your needs, whatever, and everything in Target was stolen anyway from other countries. But if you're going after the World Trade Organization, you're starting to figure out how the world works. You're going after central banking, you're talking my language. You're talking about 1871, you're talking my language. People start knocking down World Trade Centers, they're trying to send you a message. Okay? Right? Slavery never stopped. Slavery never stopped. Those East India trading companies, these massive trade, like we like to say, Wall Street's a black market. It's a black market. And when you're pissed off and your nation's being blown up, your kids are being enslaved, you want to go after the people who did it. Right? And it's always for trade. It's always for capital. It's always for control. You're going to go after the East India Trading Company. Right? You're going to go after those who come to your country to steal the land. And that's what I think about. When I think about 9/11, I think about two important facts. One, the U.S. government's still lying, and you're not allowed to know who killed 3,000 of your friends and family on 9/11 and 5 million people around the world afterwards. And two, the fact that they targeted the markets. That should tell you everything that you need to know. That was a message. That was a message. And I don't think that the people who did it, I think the people who did it were patsies for the most part, assuming that I'm not even going, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going down that path. It's dirty. It's just too dirty. And we don't know what happened. That to be the third fact about 9/11. We can't even talk about it because we actually have no damn clue close to even what happened. We know that whatever was released was a total lie. That includes Martin Luther King's murder, JFK's murder, probably Nikola Tesla's murder, and the rest of them. But I think, like with Occupy Beaufort, when people start focusing on economics and they start focusing on the real power and they stop talking about the politics, I think those people are onto something. The people who are still talking politics are still messing around with side effects and it's wasting everybody's time. Teach your kids to read, but to question what they read. Teach your kids to question everything, Christ, everything, everybody, everywhere they're at, everywhere they go, everything they say, everything come out their mouths. Never trust the government. Question everything. It's all a lie until it's proven fact. Don't trust the scientists. Don't trust the doctors. Don't trust the nurse. Don't trust nobody. You just say, show me. Teach your kids to say, show me at all times and places. That's what life has taught me in 29 years, Christ, is you teach your kids to show me the money. Who was that guy who said that? Show me the money. Every time, show me the facts. Show me the facts. I hear what you're saying. Show me the facts. I know it sounds bad. Show me the facts. N95 stops cuckoo virus. Show me the facts. Viruses can't make it. Show me the facts. And the research on the N95 anyway was crazy, wasn't it? There was a study that said they're only 80% effective, and that's assuming you wear them the correct way. And they said 50% of the population don't even wear them the correct way. And then they did a study to show that there was no significant difference between those who wore the mask and didn't wear the mask and getting the cuckoo virus. Come on, man, stop. Stop. Stop it. I that question everything. Everything. That's what I'm saying. I don't make up any decisions for anybody else. I don't ask nobody else if it's popular. I'm usually questioning it most. My microscope, and I see how little them critters are. And I understand that you ain't weaving nothing. You're not woven, weaving, making, manufacturing nothing that them little critters ain't getting through. And that's the bacteria, let alone the viruses. I don't believe it. I just don't believe. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I believe in the, what was that? The Monsatan test. The Monsatan CEO test. If you are a board, if you are a board of an N95 mask company that California just sent $1 billion to, and you and the California government too. I think you get all them CEOs together with the board and everybody in California that wrote that law and the government, put them in a room the same way they did our brothers and sisters in the Holocaust. Somebody get in there and get the cuckoo flu and just get the cough and find all the people that's hot and got bothered and got the, you know, the heat, temperature, boogers, snot, everything that ain't healthy, and you let them just blow fans past them in that room. Just let the fans blow. They all can have the N95 mask, and they gotta have their eyes open. They gotta have their ears open. And then you tell me, and when they're willing to get in the room and do that, okay, we good. We good. I'll believe it. I'll believe it at that point. I'm not gonna wear it because I'm not actually fighting viruses. I love viruses. They're a part of me. I'm 8% viral DNA. You know, like I said, I'm not fighting viruses. Viruses taught some bugs how to fly. I believe I can fly if I don't wash my hands. If I eat out the garden and get all my viruses for the year. Not interested, not fighting it. That's a fuggle I'm not in. I'm not in no fake struggle. I'm not fighting no viruses. Our mascot at my school held a rifle, a firearm, as a plainsman, independent Northwest frontier pioneer. Jimmy T, me too. Don't tell me we went to the same school, Jimmy. Do not tell me we went to the same school. We got conversations. My mascot was a patriot. It was a patriot. I went to Friendly High School, and it was not friendly at all, Jimmy T. It was too close to the Washington, D.C. area and Southeast D.C., while it was the murder capital of the planet at the time. And they bust them kids into us, the suburbs kids. That's how we learned how to fight, Jimmy. Did you go to that school? And the mascot was a patriot with a rifle. That's what it was. We were supposed to be the friendly patriots. It wasn't nothing friendly in that school, Jimmy. You go in that school, it sounded like the beginning of that movie. I said that before. The movie where the white girl went in to save all the black kids and the ghetto and the other white kids. There's some white kids in the ghetto too. And she went in to save them. Enemy Mines. That music started playing. Welcome to the jungle. As soon as you walked to my high school. Oh yeah, paper balls flying and spitballs and boogers and spitting everywhere. And then beat the janitor up. That's the school I went to. Gerard, I thought you said you was privileged. I was privileged that I had a house, a mommy, a daddy, a good upbringing. But that high school, my brothers went to the privileged high school. They went to this high school, Jimmy, called Oxon Hill. And that's where the rich kids went. No, I did not have grades for rich kid school. I did not. I didn't like school at the time, Jimmy. It was boring me. School was boring. And this is why I'm principally against this idea of a Department of Education or classroom schools. Just some kids need to go faster, some kids need to go slower. Some kids need to be outside, some kids need to be inside. Some kids, I think schoolrooms should be what the kids want to do for the day. Jimmy, I disagree with the education system at its very core. I think the teachers should run their classrooms, and I think the kids should run their day. That's what I think. And because if the kids are interested in dinosaurs that day, they want to learn about, they should be in dinosaur class. Damn it, going down the street. I'm going down here in the wrong class. No, but this is class 32. No, we're not doing class by room numbers no more. You want to learn about dinosaurs? You got to go down the hall. Susie teaching that class. There you go. The kid come in, wanting to look up the theories of mermaids. Where you need to be in the mermaid class. Who's teaching that? That's Sister Heaven. She down there in that room, going down there. When some another kid come in, I want to do quantum physics today. Okay, true. You need to go to Trisha's room. Trisha's teaching quantum physics today. Because if the kids want to learn, they want to be there. And if you, it's like people in productivity in office space, right? If you want to be at work, if you love your job, if you hate your wife and you hate your husband and you hate your house and you don't want to be at home, it's escape for you, you're going to love being at work. You're going to have a good 110% productivity. But if you hate your job, every time your boss walk out that door, you're going to pull up that video game, start playing that. You're going to go to Facebook. Some of y'all at that slavery right now watching this video. If you hate work, you won't be productive, and kids are the same way. Why would you expect kids to get good grades and they hate school? I hated school. I tell my kids, I don't lie to them. I hated school, and you should hate it too. You should hate it. You should, at your core, it is a prison system. You should hate every last drop of it. But you need to love your teachers, especially the charismatic ones. The only teachers I remember are the ones who really, really, really wanted to be there. And they made me really want to be there. You know, I didn't like biology at the time. I liked frogs and snakes and stuff, but I didn't like biology. I met Miss Hebert. Miss Hebert, she was 7th grade. I still remember her name. I remember about 5 teachers, and those are the teachers who wanted to be there. They weren't doing it because they couldn't be police officers. They weren't just there doing it because they couldn't do something else to go put bacon and eggs on the table and have a house and pay the mortgage. They wanted to be there, and I wanted to be there. So I learned a lot. I couldn't wait. This woman was always putting on some boots, taking us to the swamp. I can't wait. Miss Hebert, we got a field trip. Oh no, mama, I got to get good grades because Miss Hebert said that we got to have a B to go to the swamp. Hell yeah, I got my B. Shoot, I got my A. I was not playing in that biology class because it was fun. She was explaining the frogs and the snakes and the turtles and all the stuff that I was bringing home, putting in my mama's backyard that I was getting a switch for. My mama used to spank that. Don't you bring no more frogs in this house. I had fish tanks all in the backyard with my brother, you know, but she was explaining to us the biology of it all. And that's when I really started to realize there ain't no way in hell that these masks are safe from nobody. Because you still got eyes and ears and viruses go in through there and they get right through that cloth. Private schools are expensive and charter schools teach nothing. Yeah, they do, Lori. This is why I think homeschooling is the best way. I'm cheering to shut down a society at this point in time, Lori. I'm completely cheering to shut down. Just shut the whole damn thing down. We need, sometimes things are just too corrupt and dirty. You just got to shut it down and break it down to the bones and build it up, something healthy and organic that works for everybody. We can do a universal system, right? Like, because that's the thing that they fear. We got to save the system. That's why they print that money, because they want to keep everybody happy being at home because they hate going to work. They don't want the system to collapse. I think we just need to collapse it, let it break it down to its bones and build a sentient system. Time to get with the common man. Let's create Eden. No time like now. This is very true, Mark. Now is the best time. We can create an Eden that works for everybody, but we have to love everybody to do it. But they got everybody divided up and they're still fighting over skin and immigration and nations and patriotism and communism, populism, isms, and all the ism, schism. Still got people fighting racism. Oh, you know what? I was watching Mark Johnson's video yesterday, brother. I was watching yesterday. And I was laughing. I came in. I couldn't hear much because I guess you were being censored. But you were basically, was that your girlfriend or your wife reading the what racism is? I just find it so interesting. I find it so interesting that people ain't never met a racist person in their life out there fighting racism. Do you even know what it is? That's when I came in that part. You were going through the definition of racism. Like, I don't even think people don't know the difference between racism and prejudice and their origins, right? And their origins. I had to get into it with my brother the other day. Oh, I might even show y'all. I put him on blast. I ain't gonna tell you which one. I can put him on blast if I want to. We're getting into it. He's like, yeah, well, you know, but the white privilege. I was like, man, stop watching that television. They're making you stupid. You better stop with that Al Sharpton stuff. There's a reason why Barack Obama said white supremacy in the speech is because he came from one of the world's wealthiest families, apparently, but they hide their wealth in Indonesia, if Judge Joe Brown is correct. I don't know if it's correct or not. I don't think that the wealthiest people in the world we ever get to know, but that's why he said white supremacy on TV, because it gets you out there fighting something that does not exist. Doesn't exist. So we went through the conversation and I was telling him, I was like, well, you know, brother, have you ever dealt with racism? I dealt with racism all the time. All right, man. Okay. All right, bro. Police pull a gun on you. Well, you ever been arrested? Yeah. You ever been in handcuffs? Okay. All right. You know, I find it interesting that black people with houses and cars and came from nice houses, they speaking for black people, they ain't had nothing. And they speaking for white folk, they ain't had nothing. Privilege. I'm like, man, just calm down. You're not a people. Like, you can't tell nothing about people, right? Like, that's racism. Like, look at who's this right here? Beaufont. I don't know nothing about Beaufont by the color of his skin. I can see his face. I can see he didn't have his pigmentation as I have. I have no idea where that man's been. I don't know what he's been through, who's abused him, who's done this, if he's been oppressed, if he has a house, car, about to be evicted, repos. I know nothing about him. I can't tell nothing by an avatar looking at the color of his skin. It's a waste of everybody's time. Beaufont is not a people. Beaufont is a person. He is not a part of a groupthink tribe, a groupthink they gave you and grouped everybody up to make you stupid, to make statements like this. You know nothing about Beaufont. He's not a people. He is a person. He's a little bit of a disturbed person, but he's a person. Nonetheless, he's funny as hell. He's smart as hell too. He's a person. People don't have experiences, not scientific. persons have scientific experiences. Think about the person, don't talk about the people, right? Because there's no such thing as black people. There is no wealthy or upper middle class blacks that can speak for the poor blacks. There ain't no wealthy upper class whites that can speak for the lower class poor whites. They all have very different experiences. They're not people, they're persons. That's why to me it's ignorant. It's all ignorant racism. It's all ignorant racism. Everybody's person has an experience, and all those experiences matter, all of them. Now, about 200, 300 years ago, it was different. It was different because we didn't have the resources. 200 years ago, we didn't have the automation, robotics to look out at for everything. Hey, if we was here 300 years ago, I'd be like, listen, let's get Whitey. Let's take their resources and fight them. You know, I don't know if we win. Damn it, when did y'all find the fireworks in China and put them things on ships and make them big firecracker things called guns? I probably would back then, but now through education and being informed, you realize that we got enough resources for everybody. So we don't have to just help the black people. We don't have to just help the white people. We don't just have to help the yellow people, and we don't just have to help the people that live in this country instead of the immigrants. We got the literary automations and robotics and software to actually take care of everybody. Everybody. Why wouldn't we do that? Why? Because we're told that people are people, not persons. That they're a part of a people. They have joint experiences, and nobody has joint experiences. Ain't a black person on this planet that has my experiences. Ain't a black person on this planet that can speak for me, let alone white person, yellow person, purple person, politician person. Can't nobody speak for me. Nobody knows what I've been through. Nobody knows what I've been through. Nobody knows the trouble Gerard seen. Nobody knows his sorrows. I can tell you, that brother got some sorrows. He come on here laughing. Why do you think I laugh so much? Like, I'm honestly, why do you think I laugh so? I laugh so much because I'm not in the times I used to be. All right, a lot of people here too, they laugh because they know they've been delivered for from a crap sandwich. Okay, a crap sandwich. Does that mean I'm driving a Ferrari and a BMW and a big old massive house and all the things these wealthy people? No, it doesn't. I've realized I don't want what they have. I don't want what they have, and I'm not where I've been. And so that's why I laugh all the time, because I laugh like, I remember 15 years ago, oh my goodness gracious, Jeff, before I got that job in corporate America, woo, boy, we used to stuff bread in my stomach. I used to stuff bread in my kid's stomach. You fall, son. You don't need no vegetables, nothing else, man. The place that we done came from. I know I say I'm privileged, but that does not mean I had hard times. When I say I'm privileged in certain areas. Others, I was not. I used to work 4 jobs. All right, I'm lying. I worked at 3 at the same time. Wait a minute, can I sneak the 4th one in? What did I do? When I was in college and I told my father, I'm gonna go ahead and pay for this college myself because I don't do slavery. Slavery's a choice. I don't want your money. You're not gonna tell me what to do. So when I got me a job at the call center, and I'd work overnight, let freaks call me and do nasty things to my voice while they pretending that they're buying from the Fraser Hollywood catalog. Yes, that's abuse, and I was there, and I was a young man, but that's okay. I had to put myself through college doing that, and I'd get up in the morning, I'd go to my first classes, and in between classes, if I had a close, I would do sales of meat sales. I was a meat salesman. We did full food and freezers down there. We'd sell people a whole full year worth of meat and a freezer and some food, groceries to go up in it. Yeah, we did that. We do anything to make some money. I worked, and it turns out I was working for the mob, but that's a story we're not gonna go into. I'm not gonna put nobody on blast. I'm just gonna say I left just before the FBI got there. My buddy and I, his wife is on my Facebook. We left just before they got, so I did that in between going to classes. I did aerial photos at the time. And those are my 3 jobs. So it was 3. I was a little bit of a Jamaican at that time because that's what they say. But I just think you're just a hard worker when you got to work hard. And I'm not doing that no more, so I'm laughing. So nobody know my sorrows. You don't know me. You don't know me. You have no idea who I am. 0. Zilch. You know nothing about me by looking at my skin. Yes, I had a whole slave plantation full of white people later. I did. They lived in Baltimore. They lived in Texas. I had some Indian people on my plantation in Bangalore, India. And I had some Mexican people on my plantation in Monterrey, Mexico. All of them worked for me. I've been through some highs and lows. And the happiest I am is right now. So I laugh from the times I've been, but I'm a person. I'm not a people. You don't know a damn thing about me by my skin, right? And so I get tired of it. I get tired of it. I get tired of people who have no idea what Christine Wynn's been through talking for Christine Wins. I'm not going to tolerate it. People who don't know Riley J have no damn idea what Riley J has been through or where she's at or what's going on right now or what she's about to go through. So you're not going to judge them, not on my page or my text message or in my person. I'm an individual, y'all. I'm a wolf. I got teeth. I will bite and I will stand on my own. I really don't care where I'm at. All right. So anyway, woo. All right, what are we talking about? I want to look at the news for a minute. We want to look at the news today. USA flag is remarkably similar to the East Indian Company flag. Yeah, well, they're all the same. They're all the same. Ashley, I think a lot of this conspiracy theory about admiralty law is not conspiracy theory. I read enough law to realize there's something there. It's definitely something there between the United States Incorporation and BAR, standing for the British, what is it? British something, and America has it, and you got to be qualified in British law, admiralty law, to be a lawyer in America. There's something to that, and those flags tying in with the corporations. We were worried about the connection between church and state, and we really should have been worried about the connection between church and corporation, and we really should have been smart enough to be on the principles of we should not have a state anyway. That human beings are free, that they're sovereign. Conspiracy theory. Isn't that funny how she's a conspiracy theory? Just watching all these conspiracy theories come true. And that's the other funny thing part about me. I'm just enjoying just all the people. Yeah, you remember y'all say I was crazy. You remember that? Remember I was crazy, huh? You know, the New World Order has a website, you know, and the people who created the website is the UN, and that's the people who's basically smacking your government around in Washington, telling them exactly what they do, when they're going to do it in London, how they're going to do it with it. Yeah. Remember that guy, racist guy, Alex Jones? Remember him? Yeah, he was conspiracy theorist, right? He's talking about the New World Order, globalists, Chi-coms. He was right. Ooh, what a great day to be. It's a wonderful time when somebody you perceive as your enemy turns out was telling you the right thing the whole time, and the people you love and got bumper stickers on their car was actually lying to you, the people that you was voting for. Isn't that interesting? I'd love to be alive right now. No, Walt, they weren't theories. And that's why people are really quiet. People, they're really quiet. Like, you can post aliens now, nobody says nothing. Except for Walter, the other Walter, not you. The other Walter. And even Walter's like, yeah, aliens are probably real, but, you know, they're not here. Like, you can post anything now. There are so many lies that are starting to come out. People have no idea what to do with the world. And I think that's why they'll probably embrace the new normal. Because they're just like, damn, I don't know anything. Like, all of this is a lie. This is crazy. The people I love and trusted have been lying to me. That's right, because they call you Fido. They call you Fido. They call on your identity to make you stupid. Everything is about control. If they gave kids some kind of say, they'd be less bored for sure. Sarah, thank you, Sarah Mayo. And that's what I'm talking about. Freedom. Give those kids freedom. They're not inmates. We don't own them. They know what they want to do. They know where they got to go. And I think, Sarah, if we thought about it, throughout the majority of human evolution, children, most of their day, did the hell they wanted to do, didn't they? Didn't they? Most of the day, them kids got up, they wanted to go play in the mud. They wanted to go make some stick houses and some dirt, and grab that axe, went out there and started cutting down trees, and they did what they wanted to do, didn't they? And things worked out, didn't it? Look at all of this. Look at all, those kids built all of this. All of it. They did what they wanted to do because their passions drove them, and so they became highly productive. Because it's hard to control people like that. Kids who are raised to be free instead of got heat maps there everywhere they got to go. Got to listen to a teacher stand in line and be treated like they're in a prison system, right? So yeah, there's something to that. We are in one of the largest experiments ever. Psychological experiments we've done on the human race, where we are forcing children to be enslaved as children. So yeah, I think that they should be able to pick and choose their day, and things kind of sort themselves out. Yeah, it was a Sarah Sabina who wanted to go play with the alligator that day. The other kids got up and they're like, yeah, we're gonna go play in the mud today. We're gonna go make some forts and houses. And Sarah Sabina was like, nope. And who is it? Rebecca Costa? Nope, we're gonna go play with the alligators. You know, and things kind of worked out. You know, some kids learned some things, some kids became food. Yes, Mark Johnson, shut it down. Shut it all down. things are looking up. They're trying to arrange kiddie football here. People are struggling without their sports. And that's a good thing, Trish. And that's the first time you're going to hear me cheering team sports. You got to get people out their houses, get them sweating on each other and throwing spit around and boogers and tackling each other in some tights. It's exactly what we need to do. Get back to normal. And then I'm going to go back to saying team sports is stupid because you make kids tribal. But right now you're making them psychological hypochondriac fits, the shoveling into a prison system. We got to get back to normal, not the new normal. We need to go back to the old normal and get back to fighting that. The new normal, we're not going to fight that. They like drones everywhere. Ooh, let me see. Can't be afraid to die when most of us haven't even lived to begin with. And this is why I keep Beaufont around. That's exactly why I keep that crazy, psychologically unstable brother that I love to death that drives me crazy around. Most of us ain't never lived. Ain't never lived. Why are you worried about dying? Oh yeah, you free? You're American. You own land in America. Oh yeah, you know what the Act of 1871 is? An NDAA. They took all the land from you, gave it to banks and corporations, and claimed that they own everything that you got. They pulled a Black Wall Street on February the 21st, 1871, Black Wall Street on the white people, called White Black Wall Street something. So the colors don't even matter. They own every damn thing. And then you ain't never lived. You don't own nothing, you ain't got no land ecosystem. Tell Beaufont that you actually lived your life. How do you even know what does freedom taste like? Didn't Morpheus say that, Beaufont? Did he say something like that? You don't even know what freedom tastes like. I'm making up movie lines. I don't even think he said that. Somebody else said that. Somebody important. We don't even know what freedom's like. I don't know what that tastes like. No, that tastes like pollen from GMO corn. I don't even want to and I'm not even really even tasting the air. I'm not even tasting the air because I got work to do later. I got to go to slavery. I'm not free as I need to be. So if I ain't never free, I agree with Beaufont. If I don't even know what freedom tastes like, don't know what it look like, ain't never lived it, why am I worried about them taking this from me? I feel like I'm a slave and that this need to come to an end. I'd rather die on my feet than keep tasting air that's GMO corn, soy based chemtrail. With a hint of Lysol. No, my neighbor's using Lysol, trying to give me lung disease. I never see organic racism anymore. I used to as a kid. Organic racism, Lori, that's deep. What is organic racism? Organic. Is organic like, no, because all racism comes from artificial scarcity, right? Is there organic racism? I mean, I think I know what you're saying. You mean like old world racism, like the old, the perfect stuff, the stuff that just came out of the early laws by the government that everybody want to go to get everybody, save them from racism. A government based in divide and conquer, and they need to go and go to the people that divided everybody up to conquer them to get some help. It's like modern racism. Like, yeah, you know what? And Lori, I told my brother about that too. I told him that, I said, you need to go ahead and read the new Jim Crow, bro. You just go ahead and read that. In fact, the funny thing is, I trapped him in the car once and I made him listen to it. Michelle Alexander, her audiobook's out. You can listen to it, and he still doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. But he's in the Washington D.C. area, and I make a lot of excuses for people. Like, you usually become your environment. And it's all GMO racism. That's right, Walt. It's all GMO. But real racism? Oh no. Organic stuff? Yeah. And that's a difference. Like fakeism, like the fake GMOism that the governments create through artificial scarcity, through the laws they write, through both political parties. Yeah, that stuff. They got tiki torches. I ain't worried about it. If you're gonna march on me and you got to go to Walmart and get a tiki torch, yeah. Like them dudes back in the day, they had torches, man. They had crosses and horses and swords and stuff, man. And oh, they wasn't playing. I seen them. And that was another thing, Laura. I asked my brother. I said, well, I know you speaking for all the black people and white people, but have you ever even gone to a Klan rally? Anybody ever gone to a Klan rally? Everybody went to a Klan rally. Raise your hand. Everybody, if you've been to a Klan rally, raise your hand. They're like, this dude crazy. I know, I am. I told you, I paid good tickets for Earth, and I want to get everybody's experiences. I didn't pull a Daryl, what's his name, Dixon or whatever his name is, and went there and got the suits and stuff and talked to people. Now, I ain't talked to nobody. They used to march over here in King of Prussia, so I went on down to the rally. I was curious. It wasn't too far from my plantation. It was like a mile and a half from my plantation. So I went on down to the Klan rally. Look at it, these people ain't never, and then you say y'all are all conservatives. Like, these people ain't never even been to a Klan rally. I have. Now, mind you, I knew other people was gonna be there. I was not the only one that looked like me. I ain't stupid now. I'm hippie. I ain't stippy. I'm not stupid hippie. No, I knew, because they get together in the King of Prussia, Valley Forge Park. Valley Forge Park. And that's like a mile and a half. Every year to be over there. And everyone, when I first moved to Pennsylvania, they said, yeah, the Klan march out there every single year. And I said, okay, well, you know, what date? What's the date? It's a date. But, you know, they got a kinder, gentler message where they're trying to recruit more people. I was like, oh, yeah, well, let's go see what they're talking about. I'm just curious. I'm just curious why people are the way that they are, what to think. And other people show up. It's not like I was there. Like, other groups show up and listen to their message, and they hand out some pamphlets, and they sing some songs, and they don't do the s'mores, and they don't light no fires. And then it's all done. They hug each other, and they pray, and then they went home. And that's not real. That's not the original organic, which was still GMO back then, racism. But, you know, when you meet, it's like Brother Mark said in his video yesterday, and I said a little while ago, if you ever meet a racist person, you will know. You will know. You do not have to think and wonder if they're racist. You don't have to wonder and listen to what they say and try to figure it out. You don't need to go to your racist chart and go down and check some the racist abacus. If you say certain things, you got some skin color, you don't agree with me, you're racist. You don't have to do that. You meet somebody that's racist, you will know. You will know. They'll let you know. They'll let you know in many ways. One pulled a gun on me. Actually, no, I'm not gonna say he was racist. One, I'm not gonna say two. They're not here to play with you. They're not here to play with you. Poverty is real. Everybody's experiences are real. And it's just like gang members. You ever meet a real gang member? Not like a FANG member. Not the young ones. Not the young. I'm talking about the original ones, the bloody ones. The ones, when I grew up in Washington, D.C., the initiation to join the, I don't know if it was Rayful Edmonds or not, was to go to a swimming pool and shoot up a swimming pool full of kids. Well, look it up. It's in D.C. It happened back in the 80s. They went in there and shot up a whole swimming pool full of kids. When you meet people who came from real scarcity, people who ain't got nothing to lose, they're the craziest people you had ever met. You don't have to worry about finding the racism like we did in Think. You don't have to do to find Waldo. You do not have to go out and find no racism. That's politics. That's politics. That's your politicians trying to get votes from joking and fooling you to go around there calling people white skin racist. That's all that's about. When you meet some real racism, you will know. You will know. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, social justice warriors is a cult. Yes, they are a cult. Of course they are. Social justice warriors are a cult. Antifa's a cult. Black Lives Matter's a cult. The Ku Klux Klan is a cult. The skinheads are a cult. The Bloods are cults. The Crips are cults. The Whites are cults. The Blacks are cults. The Chinese are cults. They are cults. You know, for the sake of argument, for the sake of the system, like they all support the system in their own way. They all just want to rise to power. They don't want to fight to power. They all want to control it. They don't want to get rid of it. Right? They all want to rule the plantation and hold the whip. So yeah, they all cults, every last one of them. They're not human. They're humanish. They're all in groupthink. They're all easy to control because they're all in a group. So all of them are. Yeah, did I say Democrats and Republicans? Yeah, hell yeah, they cults too. Hell yeah, they cults. They just got rid of the candles and the chickens and the blood. You know, they put that in Yemen. That's where the blood is at. The blood is in the Congo. It's in Colombia. It's all over. The blood is everywhere else, and it's not chickens no more. It's just people. That's why, like I said, you know, people want to play politics anymore. You should probably go read them scriptures if you're conservative or if you're Muslim or something, because I know they got them scriptures too, talking about thou shalt not stealing, and thou shalt not killing, thou shalt not murdering, and if he who offends the youngest, it's better to have a limestone block, millstone hung around their neck and cast into the ocean. And that's why the water levels have always been rising, if you ask me. You know how like they found that pyramid down there outside of Cuba, underwater, under like, what was it, like 1,000 feet of water or something? That's why the water's always rising, because people ain't figuring out that God's grabbing these people and throwing them in that ocean. That water's about to really go up. If Christ come again, we in big trouble. High times, low times. Jasmine, we are all in high times, I think. I think it's all perspective. I think happiness is all in your head. It's all a relative thing. It's all a relative thing. When I go to poor countries, I see happy people everywhere, and they ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing, but they're happy. Happiness is in our heads. Things that you buy at the colonizer market called Target and Walmart, no, that doesn't make you happy. That gives you trash, and it's trash that you don't own anyway, which is really crazy if you think about it. So you go to slavery, and you start initially you go to a prison system called the elementary schools and the middle schools and the high schools. You get a colonizer degree so you can beat the other children out of resources and money because you don't give two damns about them getting better grades, get a better job and slavery and a career. And you get that to make money to buy things like a house that you don't actually own because you own the land. And the government says they own the property to buy other trash from Walmart and Target. So you literally aren't even a person who has anything. You don't own your house, your land, the stapler, the tape, the cell phone, and they can take it all in your. The whole world is fake. That's the matrix. That's the matrix right there. That's the matrix that you aren't even seen as a human being and you don't even get to own anything and you can't take none of it with you anyway to begin with. And that takes me back to Beaufont's comment. You ain't never been free. Why are you worried about dying? Why is dying such a bad thing? Why is this thing that we need to fear? Shoot, there might be some panacea over there, right? Paradise, you might have that paradise. Might be relative. I don't think you get 26 virgins, but maybe you might. Maybe you might. Maybe it's AI virgins. I don't think they're going to be women. And maybe the women get 26 too. But what woman want 26 men around? Women don't even want to be around one half the time because we can't behave. So anyway. Love your Brandon Cray G. I'm a little crazy, Lori, but I'm born in a colonized land full of a bunch of slaves and commodities. I can't be normal. I can't say normal stuff because I think it's crazy. I'm supposed to be insane if I'm surrounded by insanity. I got patriots supporting bankers, black people marching for slavers, white people. What y'all doing? I don't know. What y'all doing today? Oh yeah, Christ! It's smoking chiba and drinking coffee before. What time is it in damn Colorado? Where are you at? No, Texas. Texas. It ain't even bacon and eggs time yet. She out there drinking coffee and cannabis on the internet, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. I don't know. We just in big trouble, y'all. We in big trouble. And meanwhile, still got people every now and then posting about how Jesus white, Jesus black, how Palestinian Jesus white or black. I posted that the other day. I was just like, y'all arguing the Palestinian Jesus white or black. And while y'all arguing, y'all killing off all the Palestinians. Like, come on. No, they want the same thing everybody else wants. Some land, freedom, be left alone. I'm on the Jews side. Why you gotta pick a team? What's this team stuff about? The planet's kind of big. There's a whole lot of trees and land and grass and food and water out there. We can share with everybody, give them everything they want if you want. No, we got to pick a team. Bring about the end times. You better be careful with that end times. You better make sure you read all them scriptures. And you might have missed one or two. And Jesus come back. He come back with a little bit of attitude. He ain't coming back like, yeah, you went to church. That man was upset with y'all put them, the money changers was in the church. What you think he's going to do? Come back, find out the bank got a money changer account. What do you think will happen in the church? He ain't going to flip the church. He ain't going to flip no tables in the church. He going to flip the whole damn church. You better hope you're not in there praising at that time. You bet. It's praise and worship time. Jesus come back and flip the whole church over. The church going to be in Colorado. You live in Maryland. No. You better read all them scriptures before you bring back the end time. You better get right. Get right. I read the whole book multiple times. I was raised in the church. Better get right. Left, get right. Anyway. Ooh, you want to play in the dirt today? Well, I guess today is Earth Day. Every day is Earth Day. Well, every day should be. She's participated in helping so many different religions, ways of laying the death to rest. The dead to rest. Who laying the dead to rest? Citizen Dead. What you talking about? She is a funeral director. Oh, I don't think never mind. I ain't gonna read y'all's conversation. I did. But she wasn't a director. She was a mortician. Yeah. No. I'm not going there. Some things are a little too creepy for me. Some things are just the only person I know who been through the funeral system and came out normal was Shula King. He's the only one I know who's been through and seemed to have some Yeah, I don't know. I'm not talking about y'all funeral directors and the morticians, nothing like that. I'm still a little weird on this human body thing after it's dead. I don't know. I'd go and most funerals I hold my breath. I don't even breathe when I'm in there because the spirit is gone. The person ain't dead. It's just meat and flesh breaking apart and the viruses and bacteria and stuff breaking them down. And I'm trying to limit what I'm breathing in. And we did that. Why did we have to do that as kids? Y'all remember as kids you had to go and drive when you drove past a funeral, you had to hold your breath. I still do that. It's power of indoctrination. I hold my breath and I don't even know why. But yeah, I don't want to see the rest of that. So I'm gonna look at the news real quick. Hey, I learned how to socialize with a lot of dudes by playing football with them. Learned a lot. Sarah Mayo, and that is another part of it, is the genderism. That's another part of it. That's why kids should be free. Because when you have kids are free, you don't have a whole bunch of confused adults, right? Right from birth. Like I said, I think that you should put a kid in a circle and just surround them by doll babies and Barbie and some GI Joes and some blocks. And just let them go, pick and choose what they want. They can put on the dress or put on the socks or the shoes and pants. I'm not you believe in the 27 genders. No, actually I don't. I believe in 7 billion. I believe in I don't actually care what you think you are. Okay? I just want you to be happy so you don't rob me. I want you to be happy so you won't join a group and go conflict with the rest of these the special monkeys and ruin my planet. That's all I want. I want to end the conflict. And I know that conflict ain't going into you happy. So yeah, I believe in 7 billion races, 7 billion religions, 7 billion genders, and 7 billion nations. That's what I believe in. I only believe in sovereign human beings. I believe in persons. I don't believe in peoples. I don't think people is a thing. People is something that was given to you to make you stupid. Can we look at the news? I haven't looked at the news in a long time. I don't really even know what's going on. Sort of what my friends post. Can we look at the headlines? Y'all get upset if we look at the headlines. I know, I say I don't watch the news. I don't really watch the news, but I read the headlines. Sometimes it's important. You might need to know when to run to the bunker. You just might need to know when to grab your bug out bag and get the hell out of Dodge. You might need to know when to buy a Doberman pincher, put it in the garden. Although my neighbor's got a big old, I call it Wolfenstein. It's a big old dog, English Wolfhound, big old monster dog. So anyway, besides, all of them got guns anyway, so we all good to go. No, I'm not a gun controller. Nope, I don't believe in that either. I think there are 7 billion gun controls, and I think that you need to determine what you need. If you need a butter knife, a gun, a sock with some rocks in it, or a hammer, I think you should have a right to make your own decisions. I have no interest in telling adults what to do or how to live. Michael Pinto, the Fed is trapped. Ooh, banking information. The Fed is trapped. I don't think the Fed is trapped, but we can click and watch that. That might be interesting. Banking will tell you how your world works, but I don't think the Fed is trapped. I think that the purse, who is it? I don't think the purse is really trappable, right? I mean, a bigger purse can control it, but the purse ends and the country and the legislators, it's not going to control it because who was it? The Rothschild child said something like, I don't care. Give me the ability to print a nation's currency, and I care not who writes its laws. Doesn't matter the legislation, all the legislation, because you can write all the legislation till you blue in the face. If you ain't got no money to back it up, you wasting everybody's time, right? You need to come and bow at the knee. You need to come bend the knee and kiss the ring of the Rothschilds before you write any laws in America that they gonna pay for, right? So I don't think the Fed is trapped. I think the owners of the Fed own a lot of central banks, and I think they got the whole world trapped. So, but we can click on that if y'all want. What is this? Can the U.S. afford to extend unemployment benefits? Of course it can. It already printed too much money. But it's going to do it anyway, right? Because they're still playing lockdown nation. So businesses are failing. Remember I told y'all that we're going to wait to open up and just watch the businesses fail because that's what the Federal Reserve said? Now we're seeing it. We're seeing businesses open up. I'm seeing people open up just to have liquidation sales, to close up and move out. We in big trouble. We need to act like it. The government ain't going to take care of you forever. But they're going to print that money for unemployment benefits. They're going to print that money to take care of the people. And the more money they print, the more the currency value And when your international currency value is lower than the Republic of Soweto, them bananas ain't gonna cost 99 cents each. Them bananas gonna cost $99 each. Then scarcity is really gonna hit full effect. You gotta think about the valuation of your currency. The more money you print, the less everything has any value that's imported to your nation. If we don't make anything here, we import everything. Which is why China will own us. CNN, Brian Stelter admits Trump has big promoters on TV, but doesn't include himself. Well, it's television. They're supposed to, but Trump is rolling out the Chinese police state. The reason I'm not much of a Trumpian is he's just too Obama-ish. He's too Obama-ish. He just tastes like Obama. Going down, he smell like Obama. He's doing the same thing. He's rolling out the police state. He's bringing in the Chinese concentration camp, bringing in the drones. You know, he's like, we're fighting China, but he's doing what all the other presidents have done. That's why I'm saying it doesn't really matter who's president. They all do the same damn thing. You don't have a government. You have a corporation that's governing. You know, and you know what, the people I respect the most are my Trump friends who are saying that now. I really respect them. Like, yeah, he's off kilter. Something ain't tasting right in the Kool-Aid. And they're not like the rest of them some of them just sipping the hell out of it, like the Obama people. After he was blowing up brown children all over the planet and destroyed Africa and put AFRICOM over there. But I got Trump voters who are like, you know, oh, goodness, that's not what I voted for. Like, oh, something wrong with this Trump. Somebody pee in the Kool-Aid. That kind of tastes salty. It's not supposed to taste like that. That's not what we were standing up for. And this is what we make headway, is when people start to realize that, okay, it's tasting funny, and then start reading the law and realize that the presidents have job descriptions. They got job descriptions. You keep drinking that pee, you're going to get gout, dysentery, and something in your belly ain't going to be acting right. All right, UFFA, which is why I'm not interested in Biden either. I know, yeah, you talking about Trump? No, I don't really care. Deputy Dog should be the president. You know, so Yosemite Sam and Foghorn Fig, what is his name? He should be the president. He had a lot of deep quotes back in the day. You know, but Americans still won't get it. They just be out there, Tasmanian Devil 2020. Because it's not about the president. The left hate the right and the right hate the left. As long as you make them hate each other, then you can rob and loot the whole nation. And that's what they're doing. And I don't blame the politicians one bit. They should rob you. They should loot you. Because we consent to it. Let me see. Oh, this is a champion season, something, Coliseum stuff. I'm not interested in soccer. Or if you're in Europe, it's like football. Protests are clash and generational revolt. Chris Hedges. Ooh, I want to watch Chris Hedges. Can we watch Chris Hedges? I feel like I got like a bunch of people telling me what to do. But I try to be interactive. If y'all want to watch Chris, I like it. I think Chris Hedges was right. Chris Hedges, he was the one who wrote the book talking about the collapse of America, the collapse of an empire. He was nailing it more than anybody else. Bolton upset, and that's why he ain't never on TV. RT, he had to literally get a television station show in Russia, because anytime you put him on ABC and CBS, they had to shut him off and start telling the Americans the truthful things. And you can't tell Americans the truth on television, not on billionaires' television. You got to tell them lies. You got to tell them, get them to fight over the side effects of the racisms, the immigrationisms, or anything, and they don't own any isms. All right, Bolton upset Trump didn't invade Venezuela. Of course Bolton's upset. Bolton getting big money for them invasions. Let me see. We got one vote. Christine says, go for it. I was saying the profile fits me. Lori said the profile fits you. Let me see what else we got. If you want to, I kind of want to see what he's got to say on it. I'm curious. We good? All right. Well, I don't see nobody. Let me see. You are the special exception. Who is the special exception, right? Is that for me? You know what? I'm going to look at the comments over here, because on the phone now, they'll show you know you're replying to K. Oh, y'all having a discussion. I don't subscribe to astrology. I'm a weirdo. And you are the special exception. I think there's something to astrology, Riley and Kay, if y'all having a conversation. I think it's something to it. I do. I don't understand it, but I think it's something to it. I think if you were a baby and you're born on the planet and you're facing that way when you come out that womb, and you know, all the solar radiate, I think it's something to it. I understand. Look, let's see what Chris has to say. About the riots
in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific, with the U.S. military targeting cocaine trafficking on the high seas. Meantime, a new UN...
Whoa, hang on. Drugs! It's drugs! I like drug news. Hold on. I like drug news. You need to defund the war on drugs. Let me get y'all a better pitch up here. I like drug news. Drug news is important. It is important. The day that they ban your natural medicines from you was the day this all really started to fall apart. That's a lie. It's falling apart for 3,000 years, but I like drug news. Maybe they might say something that's important. If y'all find Antifa and Black Lives Matter in them, and they worried about black lives and brown lives, and anybody else lying, dying, all you got to do is say, go ahead and defund that war on drugs, and y'all will be okay. Go on, defund the crime bill, and that you'd be okay. But as long as you fighting cops, then you ain't really fighting for no black lives. I don't know what you fighting for. You just fighting for politics. Let's look at the cocaine thing, because this is important, because then this is where the right was upset, because all the people in that nation called Honduras that we blew up and just turned it into one big rape colony. They didn't want to live there. And so they started marching up here, and everybody said, George Soros, send them up here. And it's like, no, it was rape. It was abuse. And it was America. It was us. We had the Pentagon. We blew up the nation. We flipped the government a couple times. They didn't have anybody to govern down there, and the gangs ran the government. And then people decided, you know what, we're going to go ahead and leave. And they decided to leave. And the only reason we did that was for the cocaine. The only reason we did that is for the CIA. They were flying in the drugs into Mena, Arkansas, and that scam called the war on drugs, when the government flew the drugs in and created the crime bill to create the biggest sting operation in human history. Put millions of people in jail. Because what is it? 80% of the cocaine? Is it 80% of the cocaine in the United States comes from Colombia or Honduras, something like that. And so, yeah, you can, if you got people down there growing drugs for you, you need to fly to the United States to get your American commodities hooked on it, and then throw them in prison for being hooked on it, and scare the other people into creating more of a police state so you can get the money and fund your CIA. Then you got to keep them routes open.
That the amount of land being used to grow the coca plant in Colombia has actually decreased. So what does that all actually mean? For that, let's turn to RT correspondent John Huddy, who's live in our Miami studio with more on this. So John, what's going on?
Well, Manila, the UN Office on Drugs and Crime, as it's called, released a report on Wednesday showing that the amount of land, and you touched on this in the intro, the amount of land being used to grow the coca plant in Colombia dropped by 9% in 2019, from 169,000 hectares to 150.
Good, they're getting more efficient.
So that's basically the equivalent of 380,500 acres. Here's the thing, though. While the amount of land being used to plant coca has decreased in Colombia, according to this UN report, the output of cocaine hasn't. If you look further down in the report, you'll see that the total amount of cocaine seized in 2018 was 413,383 kilos, and then in 2019 it was 433,036 kilos. So that's basically that's the equivalent of about 500 tons of cocaine. Despite the drop in land use for coca, the UNODC said that the estimated cocaine production actually saw an uptick of 1.5%, from an estimated 1,120 metric tons to 1,001.
I always like these statistics, but let's be honest, that ain't the real numbers. Let's be honest, that's not the real numbers. We know that they're grabbing a whole lot of those drugs, and they're using them damn self. You know the DA grabbing drugs. If you got dirty cops, you think you don't have nobody dirty in the DEA? So those numbers ain't right. And besides the fact, that's what they seized. That's not what they were with. Doesn't include the numbers they were working with the cartels to let in. But they're not using Mena, Arkansas no more with the Clintons. They're using probably every damn airport flying the drugs in.
137.
So I know cocaine is medicinal, right?
Being used, there was still an increase in the overall output of cocaine, according to the UNDOC. That said, the Trump administration has ramped up its efforts in the Caribbean.
You know, if you're a conservative president, you can't indict Maduro for trafficking the Garden of Eden natural things. Like you can't do that. If God made it and everything God said is good, why in the world are you criminalizing people who are actually growing the things from the Garden of Eden that God made good? This is where the contradictions come in. This is where all the contradictions come in. But, you know, we like to pretend because we're adults. This is what we do.
Going after narco traffickers, you may remember back in March, the U.S. indicted Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and several other current and former high-ranking Venezuelan officials, including military officials, on narco trafficking charges and accused them of conspiring with the Colombian rebel group FARC to, quote, flood the United States with cocaine.
This is why I watch the news sometimes. I gotta hear that again. Did y'all hear that? Somebody has to find a clip of the police saying, you know, the CIA is flying the drugs in. the cop in LA. Somebody needs to post a link for that clip. I want to watch that today. That's fun. So they literally are saying that, so they're mad at Maduro because he's doing what we did, where he's doing what Washington's doing, the United States Incorporated, flying drugs in to give them to the commodities called Americans. This is hilarious. Oh, this is hilariously hypocrisy. But it works on the Americans, I guess, because they don't like to read.
FARC to, quote, flood the United States with cocaine. Conspiring with the Colombian rebel group FARC to, quote, flood the United States with cocaine. Well, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo tweeted today that, quote, the U.S. is taking action to bring to justice former FARC members involved in international narcotics trafficking.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, my God, I love it. The Colombian people deserve an enduring peace accord with the former FARC members who respect the rule of law and commit to peaceful reintegration into society. Isn't Pompeo the dude that said, yeah, we're in the CIA, we lied, we stole, and we taught to lie and steal, and when we done lying and stealing, we lied and steal some more, we stole and some lied, and after we've stolen and lying, then we lied and stole some more. And in between all that, we were flying drugs in the United States of America while creating a crime bill, setting up the biggest dragnet to put every brown person and poor white in underneath the prison if we could. And they ain't figured it out yet. See, I ain't got no problem with the FARC. I ain't got no problem with the FARC, and I ain't got no problem with the Colombia, Maduro, none of the rest of them. I don't care what they fly in here. You got sick Americans, they need their medicine, and let them fly, because y'all created a world that's so hard, as Bob Marley said, that women got to get up in the morning, do drugs, and take antidepressants just to get up and deal with y'all colonizing mess. So, but I'm not mad at them because they didn't make a crime bill. That's it. So you're talking about the worst of the evils. At least they're just trying to bring the medicine in. Y'all created the crime bill and created a mass industrial complex of slavery to put a whole bunch of people in. And we got Black Lives Matter, and they can't even seem to see that. This is why I'm cray-cray, Lori. This is why, I just laugh. That's why I just laugh. Just sit back like, yeah, we all gonna die, ain't we? We just hashtag all gonna die. And people still gonna vote for this. People can get out there in 2020 and make sure they keep that crazy lying government destroying their nation, looting it, and getting everybody addicted to drugs and throwing them under the prison and police shooting the hell out of them. And meanwhile, Lavoy Finicum can't take his cows to eat some grass. And Eric Gardner can't even sell some loose cigarettes. This is how stupid we are. This is, oh man. Make it all legal and tax it. Well, Cindy, I'm like, make it all legal and don't tax it. I'm gonna disagree with you, Cindy Smith. Because you know why? Well, first of all, I don't think that there's no taxation without representation. There ain't no Americans you run out there yelling, yes, we need more taxes. That's number one. Two, everybody has a right to pursue happiness, so they can grow all the drugs they want, use whatever they want. I'm not even for taxing it. I think that we need to defund the government. That's what I think. I think we need to defund big government, make it little as hell. Little as hell. I think when the government's scared of the people, then we can make some headway. So I'm not in for that, Cindy. I'm for leave everybody alone. That's what I think, darling. I think we just need to leave everybody alone. You know why? Because Cindy McCarthy Smith, at some point in time, she might need to, grow a little something in the backyard. Something, I don't know, something I never, like there are thousands of drugs they call them drugs, but they're just medicinals that you might need to grow. And I don't think it's the government's business. I think you should be able to grow what you need to grow. You might have lost your job. You don't need to go to the CVS. You want to do something natural or try it out or whatever. So I'm all for that. And I think if you grow enough, you got too much, you want to share some with Riley or Lori or Christ or Betty or something, you should be able to go and sell it to them. I think it's your right. Cindy, I think you were born on this land. I think you are a sovereign goddess. I think you got the right to do whatever the hell you want to do. Ain't nobody got the right to tell you what you can and can't do. I think the government should be scared of you. That's what I think. But when you give them all this tax money, then you're gonna be scared of them, because then they get this military industrial complex, police and social distancing and contact tracing and putting everybody in bubbles, making bubble people. So I'm like, legalize it all. This is what I believe. I don't think that I know enough about Cindy to limit what Cindy needs to do. Long as Cindy ain't hurt nobody, Cindy should be able to do that. Betty, hey, Betty, good morning. Protect those poppy fields in Afghanistan, priorities. Ooh. There go Betty. What you reading, books or something? That's the problem with people who read books. They know what actually is happening in the world, right? What is it? We went to Afghanistan and poppy production, opium, getting the whole opioid crisis, got right back online. Like, that's the history that only the U.S. troops and books will tell you, right, Betty? They came back. Said, what was we doing? Yeah, well, we was growing some drugs. It was protecting the people growing drugs. And you see the Taliban went in and poppy production went down. Americans was getting off of meth and everything was going great. And United States Incorporated, I won't say American government, it's not that your American government, it's only your state governments. That's the only government you got. And on the federal level, it's United States Incorporated. They canceled that republic in 1871. And they said, oh, hell no, because America's getting off of drugs. No, they know we can't have that. We need that meth to get back in here. We need to do what the poor whites, what we did to the poor blacks with crack. We got the meth. And so they went in Afghanistan, they took it over, that poppy production went right back up. Went right through the roof. And of course, now you got a meth addiction, and that's a crisis. That's genocide and democide. I mean, how many hundreds of thousands of Americans' commodities are now dead because of meth? They did that. This is why I don't do the blick white thing. This is why I don't do it, because they're always scamming everybody. They're always scamming everybody, and they don't give two damns about you. And I'm glad you brought that up, Betty. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one way to show that hell no, white lives don't matter. They don't matter at all. Look at the meth addiction. They do not matter at all. And crack cocaine. For the black lives don't matter. And this is why my hashtag is always all lives don't matter. They don't matter. They don't matter at all. They don't care. They don't give two damns about you nor your children. They don't mind if you get an addiction and your kids fall out the window. They don't mind if you get an addiction and you fall out the window. They don't mind if the kids get addiction, they push you out the window. They're fine with all of that, as long as Big Pharma gets what they want, and that is captive customers to buy all their drugs. Because the whole war on drugs is about painkillers. We talked about that last year. Does anybody find it odd that anything that actually helps with pain, they make illegal? That's the first things that are out there to Schedule 1. Why? Because if you're in pain, you're going to take whatever drugs that pharmaceutical industry wants to sell you. There's one thing we won't tolerate. We might tolerate the blue bumps. We might tolerate some sags and some wrinkles. We might tolerate some itchy, funky feet. We will tolerate all of that. We ain't going to tolerate no pain. And so they got rid of the pain. Why? So you will buy everything the criminal pharmaceutical industry wants you to buy. And they lobby the entire government. Nobody lies about that no more. We know that to be true.
The Colombian people deserve an enduring peace accord with former FARC members who respect the rule of law and commit to peaceful reintegration into society.
Oh, he's such a criminal.
After the March indictment of Maduro, President Trump announced also in April that the U.S. was sending U.S. Navy warships to the Caribbean and towards the coast of Venezuela to intercept narco traffickers. Well, speaking of these types of interceptions, the USS Preble, a Navy destroyer, with help from the U.S. Coast Guard, seized a smuggling vessel in the Eastern Pacific earlier this month that was carrying 2,000 kilos of coke. That's worth more than $40 million on the street, according to the U.S. Southern Command. Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg, though, Manila, when it comes to cocaine trafficking. Last June, actually almost a year ago today, more than 16 tons of cocaine was seized from a cargo ship at the port of Philadelphia. That's worth more than $1 billion. I said it right.
Woo, we're getting drugs off the street. Does that make anybody feel safer? If it makes you feel safer, you're a fool. I love you to death, but you're a fool. Not that you're a fool, but you were a fool. All right, because no matter how much of that cocaine you take off the street, like, I think about it. I think about it from that statement. What is the statement from the Romans? Caesar, thou protested too much, or something like that. That thou protested too. Like, they're always trying to pump these numbers. And I remember this with crack cocaine and opium and that cocaine, whatever. Like, anytime they're constantly trying to advertise something to me, I'm a skeptic. I sit back, Betty, and I'm like, I don't know. Why are you trying to sell this to me? that I should feel safer that you can got cocaine off the street. And I know that every time I pass every stoplight, it's got a Walgreens and a CVS, and they just full of drugs, and ain't nobody going after them. Okay, they killing people all day long. Ain't nobody stopping them. Why am I supposed to feel safer? Anybody? Wait, somebody tell me, what was the last mass shooting we had on cocaine? Can somebody tell me what was the last mass shooting we had on crack? Can somebody tell me the last mass shooting we had a person was on meth? I mean, it might have happened. I can't think of one. I'm pretty sure one happened, but I can't think of one. Every time them mass shootings happen, y'all focus on the AR-15s, and wise people sit back and say, but you know all these people on psychotropic drugs that come from Walgreens, right? All of them. They're all on psychotropic drugs. And the doctors told you why. They say, well, your body works with that for about 3 months and the demons go away. You're not seeing ghosts chasing you no more. And after about 3 months, your body starts to filter out the compounds. Your white blood cells start to break them down, and it works less and less and less and less. And every day you come in, Betty walk into Betty, the first day I take the drugs and I get to the office, I see Betty look like Betty. After the first week, Betty, is Betty growing some horns? And after the next time, the next week, Betty eyes looking a little red. About 3 months of that, Betty got all full-fledged wings, bifurcated tail, and she red, and fire coming out her eyes. And then you go get the gun. And we blame the gun. We are silly people. We are silly. But yeah, the whole Caesar thing. Our protest is too much. If you really got to tell me that somebody did a mass shooting and we got to take the guns from people, then you tell me that a little too much, and I know that you playing a game with me. I know that you making money somewhere. You got to tell me the numbers every time you grab and see some ship coming in, some airplane, and it's factual, fact, that y'all flying this stuff in, and you're only grabbing enough to make people think that you're fighting what you're actually profiting from. Thou protestest too much. And ain't nobody going after the Walgreens or the CVS.
$1 billion. Well, a day later, 333 pounds of coke worth $10 million was seized at the port of Baltimore. So figure for the amount of cocaine being found and seized, there's certainly as much, if not more, flowing into the U.S., Europe, and other parts of the world. So the war on drugs very much rages on. Manila, back.
No, it's not raging on. There's no war on drugs. There ain't never been no war on no damn drugs. There ain't never, ever, ever in your life, no mind, anybody warring on no drugs. Ain't nobody warring on drugs. Drugs is too profitable. Okay, right? This is a racket. It's always been a racket. That's what a crony capitalist corporation of a governing, non-governing rulament does. Okay? People who think that they own you. They do whatever makes money. What makes money? Turning drug trafficking into an industry that government profits from. And that's what they've done. That's all they've done, right? Drugs went up when they started the war on drugs. And you got to think about why. Cancer went up when they started the war on cancer. And you got to think about why. For-profit corporations do not war on things that bring them more profit. That's the most ignorant thing. This is why I tell everybody, read the Act of 1871. That's why when I watch the news, I think about the Act of 1871. The fact that we have a for-profit corporation that's just governing. They don't do what voters want. They don't protect voters. They don't have citizens. They have commodities. And if they can make money exposing you to drug trafficking of cocaine, crack, lithium, this, that, mercury, some meth, rolled up into ecstasy and some pesticide, they'll do it. They'll do it. If they can make money with racism, they'll do it. They'll create it, and they'll get you out there fighting it, and they'll write books and give some speeches to get you to stop it. And you get out there and stop that racism. Get out there, and they pat you on the butt. Get out there in that street, and we're going to send you some bricks, too. And you're out there in the street fighting racism. And these people making money on it. That's how all this always comes back. It always just all comes back to it always comes back to power, profit, control, economics. That's what it always is. But you know, they got these dramatic, newscasters. They stopped all the drugs coming into Baltimore. Anybody been to Baltimore lately?
Regarding police reform in the wake of these nationwide protests following the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis. Now, lawmakers like Rand Paul looking to end the nationwide use of no-knock warrants, which rose to popularity in the mid-1990s during the Clinton.
In no-knock warrants. I like Rand Paul. I do. I like Rand Paul. I love him. I like him. I don't trust nobody. But the no-knock warrant. So that's when you don't have to knock and come in the house. Yeah, well, you know what? I honestly don't care about that. I'm more concerned with policing than police, and I'm more concerned with the 100,000 or so unconstitutional laws where you send people out with guns to go after the citizens who think they're, or the commodities who think they're citizens. I'm not so interested in the no-knock warrants. I don't know that I really even care about that too much. Only because it's my apathy. It's my apathy. You don't knock on my door, you come through my house. It's gonna be on the news. I don't care who you are. I'm not gonna look who you are. I ain't gonna check. Somebody break in your house, but that's wise. I get what he's doing. I get what he's saying though. That is wise. That is a wise thing to do. Right? You knock on my door and you knock on my door and you come through, I'm not gonna ask, who is it? Who does that? Does it really? You not somebody break in your house at 3 a.m. Is that the police or is that the bad guy? No, that's not what you do. That is not what you do. If you are strapped under your pillow, under the bed, you got a knife, a rock, some lotion, a pain bottle, a painkiller bottle, some drugs or whatever, the can of salt. You're gonna throw it, fight in the dark. You're gonna jump, do a flip, think you a ninja over the sofa. You're gonna do anything you can do, or you're gonna rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat. That's what you're gonna do. And then the police gonna kill you. That's how that works. They're gonna kill you because they got training, they got better weapons, they got bodyguard, armor, protection, and gear, and they're just gonna murder you. If you think about that, like, goodness gracious, think about the scam. Think about a corporation that's actually has a governing function, but they're for profit, and they give you a Second Amendment to arm yourself up to the teeth, and then they send people in your house that don't even have to knock on the door. On laws that are unconstitutional, that take away your ability to survive. That's just the setup. That's another setup. That is another, what is that called? It's like the war on drugs Clinton set up with the crime bill. Same damn thing. They literally problem, reaction, solution, profit. We got to add another P on there. Problem, reaction, solution, profit, and then we got to put death in there. Death. You died. That dead, but they make the profit. They don't change nothing. So yeah, I'm not too interested in that. I get where he's coming from, but I know I would be dead. There ain't nobody not know. You do have a no-knock warrant come through my door. Oh, that's my last video. That's the last one. Because no, they're not. No, I'm sneaky. I'm sneaky and there's something wrong with me. I'm sneaky and there's something wrong with me. I always have. I don't go nowhere not without weapons. Look at me. Do I look like I don't have no weapons? I always have weapons everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, I will figure out how to get this spoon into your liver. Okay, I will listen. I'm from the Washington D.C. area. I'm privileged, but not that privileged. I'm creative. I hit you with a sofa. You gonna shoot me? You come through my door, I ain't asking you nothing. Nothing. That's how we get them. That's exactly how you get. I agree with you. CIA, FBI, DIA, and any of y'all think that you working for United States Incorporated, you need to take me out. That's all you got to do is get a no-knock warrant. You ain't never got to hit my mouth ever again. Ever, 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 ever. I will break that fish tank right there and stab you. Okay? Not gonna look for no shiny badge. I see something shiny, I think it's a gun, I'm gonna stick it in your neck. That's how that's gonna go. That's how. Besides, you gonna scare me anyway. It's not like I'm doing it because I want to do it. It's not like I'm thinking about it. You get frightened in the middle of the night, do you like stop and think, oh, what am I gonna do? No, you hear a bump in the middle of the night, you grab something and you go deal with the bump. Or you jump out the window and run. I'm just not a jump out the window and run type person. It's all gonna be just reaction. That's it, reflex. That's all that is. It's a reflex that I take that I got the salt container right to the glass. I'm gonna break that thing. I think I'm in a bar fight. I'm stabbing you. I'm gonna hide behind this open, stabbing you in the neck. All right. Anyway, all right. Let's. It's easy to kill me. I'm telling you, it's easy. It's always very easy. I'm a very reactionary person.
Administration. Now, Rand Paul, a Republican.
Chris Hedges.
President Bill Clinton, a Democrat. But that came on the coattails of the war on drugs during the crack epidemic of the 1980s that led to the 1994 crime bill that doubled the U.S. prison population. Now, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist and author
Did y'all get that? For people who he just basically told you that they wrote sure that no Black Lives Matter, and that's the group that the black people usually vote for. It's the cult called the Democrats. That's what he just told you about. That's why those Black Lives Matter. So if you want to be burning something down, you need to go go find out where you better not find out Joe Biden's address. Better leave that black caucus alone. They all in gated communities talking about helping poor people. But if you actually want to deal with the people, you want to make Black Lives Matter, you see these poor white folk right here? I call them poor white folk because they ain't got billions of dollars, and you think they got white privilege, like Riley and Andrew and Jasmine. You can, and who's that? Sarah. You can come after them. Who else look white on here? I got a bunch of Lori. You can go. Y'all can go after them if you want. Jimmy. I'm not Jimmy. You know what? I don't even know Jimmy. You need to put your face on the thing. I told y'all to make your avatars black people anyway. And Miss Tree and Sister. So y'all can go after them if you want to. I guarantee you this: they ain't got your land. I guarantee you that. I guarantee they ain't got your water. I guarantee they ain't got your gold. They ain't got nothing from Black Wall Street. And if any of them is related to anybody from Black Wall Street, I guarantee they still ain't got it because the government took the rest of that. The government took the rest of it. So if you want to go get your wherever they can put your brown lives to matter. Go after the people but this is what real people talk about, right? This is like Michelle Alexander, the new Jim Crow, Chris Hedges, and Chris Hedges worked in the prison system. This is how this man knows what he's talking about. Now let me shut up. Let's let him say. I gotta get out of here.
Chris Hedges wrote an essay about just that called "Gaslighted by the Ruling Class," which you can find on sheerpost.com.
Yep, both black and white.
Earlier, here's our conversation on how he sees the new wave of social change.
Two major demands, defunding the police and abolishing the police, are both Black Lives Matter demands. The problem with defunding, we've seen de Blasio do this in New York, is you can just play numbers. So the New York City Police Department has a budget of $6 billion a year, and de Blasio is talking about moving $100 million of it to community support or something. And
pause. I had a thought. I want to put this out for you. What happens in a nation where the government traffics in weapons, traffics in drugs, makes people join gangs, creates artificial scarcity laws to make them murder each other in the streets all day long, and you barely got enough police to deal with them in a correct way to where the police got to treat you and abuse you because they think you're one of the gang members? What's the long-term effects? Let's say, I don't know, Seattle, and I don't know if this is Seattle or not. What if Seattle defunds police? What do you think is going to happen next? If you were raised poor and you're a skinhead, you were raised poor and you're a blood or a crip, you got the clips and the guns and the grenades and the strategy and the brothers, and you need to steal and rob some people. Are you gonna go to New York City where the police is fully funded and they got contact tracing and cameras and heat maps and drones and guns and response and phone numbers and 911s? Or are you gonna go to Seattle where you just created a whole bunch of sheep? No, and this is not a comment for the police. Y'all should know me better than that. I'm just saying, where are you? If you are MS-13, you run around in this country, you're from a cartel the CIA made and helped set up the drug route in the United States and in your country. MS-13, and because y'all scared of them, right? Like, this is the group y'all saying going around raping a whole bunch of people and stuff. Where do you think you're gonna go? If you want to go rape a whole bunch of women, if you want to take the weapons that you got from the number one weapon trafficker in the world, which is the Pentagon, and like in Congo, and they take those weapons with the warlords, go rape entire towns of women. Where are you going to go get your rape on? I don't think y'all thought this through. That's my problem. I don't think that y'all actually used your brain. I think somebody handed that to you. I think the people who create all the problems are the ones who destabilize everything to scare everybody else. So we'll go up and cheer for a police state. This is why I think you're being played. But let me see what Chris Hedges said. I hate to disagree with Chris Hedges. I got the feeling that I might disagree with him.
I sense that the people who are carrying out these protests understand that this is far more than policing reform. I think this is a class and a generational revolt. Now, it's been exacerbated by COVID and the economic misery that many of the protesters are suffering. I think has led them to a situation where, certainly in economic terms, they're much closer to these communities of color that have been enduring this for decades. No, I mean, change is going to come off the streets. Change is going to come.
Yep, in communities of color. But I'm going to answer Beaufont's question real quick because it's right on topic. And Chris had just mentioned the communities of color, and I don't want anybody to be confused by what he just said. He says, "Gee, why do you think they have let it happen?" I don't think they let it happen, Beaufont. I think this was all planned. I think it was a pandemic from legislation going long way back. And we're just seeing the final ends of everything blowing up with all the social engineering, the legislation, taking everybody's rights, collapsing the republic, putting everybody in conflict with each other, and finally the kids are just blowing up. And it just so happens that the people on the bottom rungs are going to be the most angriest, right? The people on the bottom rungs who ain't got nothing, they're willing to burn everything down because they ain't got nothing to lose to begin with. And the same reason that you can get the skinheads and Ku Klux Klan and white nationalists out there putting people behind their trucks and drag them through the street on chains. If you feel that you ain't got nothing, you ain't got nothing to lose. Those psychopathy genes are going. Those 27 warrior genes, you ain't worried about being caught. You don't care. And so why do they let it happen? Because they need to roll out a police state. They need to already got the police state, but they're rolling out the medical police state, right? They need people to be scared of each other, like the whole bubble boy thing and the bubble peopleish thing. All of this is related. So I honestly don't think anything's happening, bro. I think that they had a plan. Half the time, I don't think the politicians even see the big plan. I don't even think they see it. I think a lot of them the vast majority of politicians are low enough on the rung where they don't even know what's going on, right? I think the ones at the top probably do, but once you get to the top, it's too late. It's like the top of a gang, right? I mean, these people are all cabals and cults and cabals anyway. When you get to the top of the gang and you got a lot of guys underneath you, yeah, you got things to worry about. You know too much. You can't just say, oh, you know what? I done made it to level 72 of the Crips, and I've decided that I don't want to Crip no more. It doesn't happen. You climb the Democratic ladder, you're a Democrat up and coming, Republican up and coming. You start climbing up, you're fighting for freedom. We got to figure out, we got to make some laws, we got to help the people. You know, we're going to do what's right, like these young people, OCI, ACI, what's her name? 07C, I keep forgetting that woman's name. Oh, she's pretty, but she just don't need to be holding the microphone telling the old people what to do. They think that they're fighting for change. And slowly they start to realize that, oh, yeah, why is nothing ever helping people? And every time that we write a law, the pharmaceutical industry rewrites the law. Every time we write this law, the chemical industry rewrites. Every time we do something for the farmers, Monsanto has to be involved. Every time we try to do clean drinking water, then here come the fluoride, and the chlorine companies. And you get higher up that ladder. And what happens when you get high enough up? You know too much. And by the time you know too much, you already made the deal with that devil. You don't get to just walk away. It doesn't work like that. And I think you just go along to get along. Like, because we don't know what happens, right? It's too high for us. All we can do is speculate, right? Look at your local cabal and determine how your local cabal works, right? That's how local government tends to work too, not just gangs. So the idea that everything else works that way and the federal government doesn't work that way, it makes no damn sense. You get to the top, you know too much. You got to stay rolling with the top, or you got to either pull a Machiavelli or they will pull a real JFK. All right, let's let him finish. That's what I think it is, Beaufont. I don't think that it's happening. I think that all of this was designed, and it probably at a 30,000 foot level, and very few people know what's going on.
By organizing in Amazon warehouses for strikes, fast food workers, all these low-wage workers, and I think we are seeing a kind of uniting between workers, especially frontline workers, and these groups. So I look at this as far more, at least if you look at it from the perspective of the people in the streets, far more than simply calls for police reform. Remember, Black Lives Matter has been doing this for many years, 4 or 5 years, and so they're pretty savvy. I mean, it's going to be much harder, I think, for the ruling elites to gaslight them as they have in the past.
Yeah, you've certainly touched on a myriad.
You want to stop one? I'm going to pause. No, I can't let that one slide. I'm sorry. But Chris Hedges, to a degree, he has to say that because he's got that white skin stuff. I'm not going to say that. I was okay with the group Black Lives Matter because I know a lot of people in the group and I know they mean well. I don't like the name of the group. It creates conflict. But I gave up on the group. It was actually before the Soros. Before Soros gave him $100 million. You don't have any billionaires behind any decent groups with decent ideas to help things. You have anything that gets big enough to develop a blind following always gets co-opted. So it's not even about Black Lives Matter. It's just about this system and how this works. For me, what did it, and I think I did a video on it, if you go back to it, the day Trump signed the First Step Act, the prison reform, where he freed more brown people than any other president in U.S. history. That's shrinkage right there. When he did that, and Black Lives Matter, somebody high up in it, I don't know who it was, they were on that panel. I think it was RT or Al Jazeera, I forgot, and they were just like, they didn't like the law. They didn't like the law. They didn't like the law. And I'm like, why don't you like the law? You got people who just got released from prison, and I'm like in tears. Like, I'm listening to this woman's story. She was an inmate. She got released, and she's like crying, thank you so much. I have a chance at life. I'm going to do right. I'm going to do this, blah, 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 blah. And this was a campaign promise. You can't take that away from the Trump people. You cannot take that. It happened. I don't think the presidents make these decisions, once again, but it happened. And they released a bunch of brown people from out the prison, some white folk too. And they turned on the prison reform. Like, wait a minute, you supposed to be, Black Lives Mattering, right? Y'all supposed to be, they don't matter on the slave plantation. You just literally had a sitting president pull a Harriet Tubman. Right? He could have, if he was, and this is why I'm saying why I don't play the racist game. They're like, oh, well, Donald Trump is racist. You ain't never met a racist person in your life if you say that. Racist people don't sign bills that let thousands of black people out of prison. That doesn't happen. No, I'm not pumping Trump. Do not even come in here with that nonsense. I'm just stating the reality. All presidents do good things. All presidents do bad things. They usually do just enough to keep everybody engaged in the system. I think that's their job. But that's when I gave up. $100 million was just icing on the cake. And the next example I give is just right now. Right now. They're upset because white cops are killing black men. They're not upset, and black women. They're not upset because black people killing black people. They're not upset about the war on drugs. They weren't upset when the black people were still locked in the prison. They still on the slave plantation. They ain't pulling no Harriet Tubmans. I don't see, what's her name? They call her Moses. I don't see nobody run down to save nobody. I don't see no protests in front of no prison. I don't see anybody upset. You know how many inmates die every year in this country? You know how many gang fight or fights from COs that they put the brown people in to beat up each other and put the brown person next to the white person, put the brown person with the Hispanic person. They all fight. You know what I mean? Who was that guy in the CO in New York who wrote that book and explained all the things that are happening in modern slavery right now? That's why I know. And so in walks where we are today. Y'all know what today is. Today is Juneteenth. Right? How did Juneteenth happen? Well, you had the Oklahoma land rush. All the black folk ran out there with the white folk, grabbed land from the Native Americans in Oklahoma. That gave them power. They made wealth. They created a Black Wall Street. And it got burned down on this day. But how did they do it? Is they got land. So if Black Lives Matter, and you you look at history and say, well, okay, well, I get the problem. The problem is we ain't got no opportunity. So we need to get the land. And I get it if you want to put in your own little selective apathetic head and say, yeah, brown people need the 40 acres and the mules, not the white people. Okay, well, if that's what you want to do, I don't think it's going to work. I know the white people. That's why I spend time with everybody, people, and I appreciate the people who don't think that they're a race and a color, but that's fine. That's what you would do. But instead of that, instead of defund the Federal Reserve, instead of defund the corporations owning land, get the land back to the people, instead of feed the poor people, defund artificial scarcity, instead of restore the public, defund the Act of 1871, the only thing that you come up in your head is defund the police. That's a strategy, people. That's a strategy. And this has nothing to do with 99% of the people in the Black Lives Matter group. I think they're played like the Republicans. I think they're played like the Democrats. I think they're played like everybody else. I think most people are good people and they mean well. But the tops of all the groups are co-opted and they brainwash people because they're in a group, and so they can only utilize group thought, group think. And we know what that does. So that's when I gave up. That's when the first time I gave up, and everything since has just been examples of it's the same thing. It's not new. It happened to the women's movement. It happened. It was for about half a second. We had a men's rights movement. We were trying to keep our children from being taken and divorced, and that went down in flames, y'all. That didn't get the wheels. The airplane didn't even know. It didn't even make it to the runway. But every movement's co-opted. Civil rights movement, same damn thing. No, we didn't win no civil rights. No, when the people who were fighting for the thing, whatever that might be, equality, they see it happening, they walk away. Psychopaths take over, the people at the top. And now you got an industry. It's too late. You've been running for a few years now. Now you got an industry on Black Lives Not Mattering. You're not going to go bite the hand that feeds you. And this is the sick thing about, our system, right? And so once again, it's not about Black Lives Matter. It's just about the system. I don't do identities. I don't do labels. To me, it's a waste of time. Just look at the system and how it operates. You will never fight the system until you know, as the brother Chris Lewis says, systematic operations. Brother's big words. Did y'all see Chris's video? He went down to Philly yesterday. He went down to the tent city. Tent city. You could defund 10 cities. How about that? How about that? And while I love the fact that Chris went up to the brother, the white brother. And did you notice the white? Did anyone watch that? Anyone notice? He went and he talked to the people in Tent City. And yeah, some of them said Black Lives Matter, but most of them were just like, no, we're homeless. We don't have any home. We're in a nation full of homes and we don't have a home. We're a nation full of mega churches where Jesus said to give everybody shelter and a place to lay your head. We ain't got no homes. We don't have any food. And he talked to the black people, then he talked to the white person, and I appreciate it. But did you notice the white person know what he said? Did you see him like he was trying to, as much as possible, affiliate with being black? He said, oh, my family's black, and yeah, I'm this, that, and people look at me and they think I'm white, but I'm really black, and I need help. That didn't touch you. There's something wrong with you. That didn't touch you. Something is wrong with you. This is not a race issue, people. It's never been a race issue. This is always about keeping people at the bottom as low as you can keep them till they die. And the brother did everything he could to, I need help, and anybody down here giving help and Black Lives Matter is down there because they're marching. And he's doing anything he can to and this man is I'm sorry, why ain't got no pigment, ain't nothing. His eyebrow. But he's doing everything he can because he wants food. He wants a place to live. He wants some opportunity. White privilege. White privilege. Living in a homeless tent in the city. This is how I know that you're a sellout. This is how I know that you sold or that you follow. See, if you follow people who are fooled, you're not fooled less. If you follow people who are selling out, you are not selling in. You're giving up. You're giving up. You got to find your heart again, right? And so that's it for me. Let Chris finish up here. But he's speaking, I think, the way he has to speak. I don't think they'll even let him on the news unless he does certain things to push the hounds off, right? Like he needs people in Black Lives Matter and Antifa and regular black people being programmed by the television to pay attention to what he's saying, because what he's saying is right. But he's changing his speak to make sure that he listens. This is why I told all my white friends to put up black picture profile avatars, because nobody listens unless you agree to certain things, and that's censorship. That's censorship. I talked about that yesterday, so I'm not going to waste your time and talk about it again today. Sometimes I think we repeat a lot, but we have a lot of new people come in, and so I think that we always have to constantly restate, what we believe, saying how we're this gathering family having these discussions.
Very out of topics, and I think you really get down to the point of how this all erupted in the past couple of months. So go check out his post at sheerpost.com. Chris Hedges, we got to leave it right there. Thank you so much for sharing.
So what I just heard is that you have people in the street because they ain't got nothing. And the group with the biggest voice prevented it from being about the fact that they don't have nothing and making it about defund the police. That's what I see. A controversial topic that the right is going to fight you tooth and nail so nothing gets done. So you keep making money. So Black lives keep not mattering. Right? I don't see conspiracy theory. And I hope everything I said right now is completely wrong. I do. I hate to think that people are this dark. And it's not even the people, to be honest with you. I mean, once again, it's the system. Like even the people at the top, like, you know what? A lot of people, I'm sure, at the top of Black Lives Matter, they probably didn't have a whole lot to piss in there where to throw it out anyway. So now they got somebody who dumps $100 million in. They've been indoctrinated their entire life to fight white people and fight white privilege and white sensitivity and fragility and all them racist phrases that they come up with. And I think that they convince themselves that they're going to do as much good as they can with the new power they've been given. Yeah, I don't make excuses for people. I try to understand, like I try to put myself in their shoes. Like the foster care lady, I keep giving her example all the time because it's just meaningful to me. It's deep, like when it comes to children and abuse, and we don't have anybody that's really out there rescuing abusive children, right? We turn what could have been department of making sure that children ain't being abused, and we turned into a child trafficking organization, because that's what the United States Incorporation does. It does what's profitable. It's not going to do what helps children. It's going to do what makes profit, and the ownership of children is what makes profit, and that's why they created the whole foster care system. The lady I met down in Philly, she said, I can't leave. She was a manager, and it was a children's rights protest. She said, I can't leave. I can't go anywhere, because if I leave, then who's going to determine what kids we go after? Right? She's like, I know that this is corrupt, and I probably shouldn't even be saying this. But this was years ago. She probably never. She said, I'm too high up that yeah, we it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game, and we look past a lot of children. But I can dictate where that money gets routed. Right, I can dictate to make sure when I meet a little girl where it's obvious that it's going to be a long court fight to get her away from this stepfather that's obviously raping or abusing her, and I can make a determination of where that money goes. And I would bet you probably at the top of Black Lives Matter, that's the deal that they're making with themselves. Because that's the deal that I made with myself when I was in corporate America. When I really started to see how dirty it was, the tops of every corporation, size I can see every boardroom I sat in, it's like, man, you people are corrupt. Like, you don't even like your people. Part of what we did was outsourcing. I tell you, every time I went there and I sat, and y'all think, oh, yeah, I'm in a good corporation. They love me. Every boardroom I sat in, the first question was, how the hell do I get rid of these people? How do I create synergy savings and automated solutions and new software packages? Because there's too many people in my corporation. I need to get rid of some of them. But I convinced myself I was doing enough good. And I finally one day I didn't. And the people who had patience with me, who always told me that this is Babylon, climbing the corporate ladder, it's corrupt, it's dirty, you're selling out, blah, 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 blah. I'm glad those people stuck with me. I'm glad they were honest with me, but I'm also glad that they stuck with me. For that reason right there. Because people can't grow up, but you got to give them time. I needed time to grow up. I needed time to see Babylon. I needed time to see Rome. I needed time to realize that I'm supporting everything that fights everything I stand for. And once I started to realize that, then I started to change my evil ways. And I think that maybe the tops of these groups too, but we have to start talking like we got some sense. If you're in that group and you believe in the group and you got a local, Black Lives Matter and it's working, it's helping, you're peaceful and blah, 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 then you need to start forcing higher ups to do things that make some damn sense instead of rerouting a artificial global poverty, impoverishment conversation to being about the police, right? You gotta push them into doing some root cause analysis and trying to solve problems instead of trying to solve side effects to stay in power, to keep the industry rolling. All right. I just hope Gerard's home is as messy and lived in as my own. I don't trust. What is that? Fantabulous people are attempting to sanitize their lives with what they've been indoctrinated to believe is perfection. Miss Tree, I can guarantee you that my house is not ready for inspection. I'm looking right now. You remember when I told you that somebody come through my house with a no-knock warrant, that they is going to get a salt shaker put through their gut in the liver? It's right there. It's right. I left it right there. I didn't think it. Now, you know what? My house isn't a mess, though. No, it's not a mess. It's not a mess. No, I'm not going to say it's probably a mess to y'all. It ain't a mess to me. I call it organized chaos. I know where everything at. I know what pile I got to go to for this, that, when I'm a man too. We got multiple piles. We don't have clean clothes and dirty clothes. We got clean and it's a spectrum. We got multiple piles. You know, that's dirty. I ain't no, because I wear that. I ain't get me none. Ain't nobody. You're gonna stand around me. But it's a spectrum. You know, it's a spectrum. No, my house is within. Usually, it's within 10 minutes of having company. Usually, Miss Tree. And I don't even know why you asked me this, but usually it's within. I'm a regular person. It's within 10 minutes of having company. Probably since the shutdown, I'm gonna need about 45, maybe two. I'm gonna need some time. Somebody coming over. You're not gonna stay. You can walk in. Ah! What the hell? Oh my God! You're gonna run like, oh hell no, this dude is too natural for me. No, he got something growing out the carpet. What the hell is that? Is that mint? No, I'm just a regular dude. I just, I spend time. I mean, I'm sanitary. There's a difference between sanitary. I ain't got no viruses just pooing around here. No, ain't nothing like that. But I'm just a regular person. I'm not a sterile. I'm not a Harkonnen. Like I said, I believe in viruses. I believe in microbiology. And I work in the garden. And I'm busy. And I'm in slavery. Who got time to clean the house? The only people that got really time to keep their houses pristine is people high up in the plantation. I ain't got time for y'all know that meme of that woman that's I ain't got no time for that. Who got time for that? Let me see if I can find her. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Let me see if I can find ain't nobody got time for that woman. Where's she at? Where's she at? And I don't even know the context of this. Y'all keep posting the meme. I ain't never seen, I've never even heard the woman say it. Because ain't nobody got time for that. We in slavery. We got to go make money. We got artificial scarcity. They rolling out laws and contact tracing and people cheering for it. And they're scared of viruses, got diapers on their faces. And they're cheering for a cure from a man that said there's too many brown people in Africa. No, we ain't got time. It's not my house, Miss Tree. That's number one. It ain't in my house. It's not my house. We don't own no land. We don't own no house. Why am I gonna clean it up? Now you got me making excuse. Hell yeah, I'm gonna stick with that one. It ain't in my house, Miss Tree. Why in the world you worry about cleaning up somebody else's house? It was my show. You know what I'm watching right now, Miss Tree? I'm watching Underground. I didn't have a chance to finish it because I don't have time for TV, but I watched season 1 when it came out. And I was worried because I didn't like the whole hip hop thing to it. And they usually use these shows to get people angry and stupid, get them out there fighting white privilege, supremacy, make them angry. But I like the show, so I just started season 2. And this is a scene where she got up on the bed with her baby. She was in the big house and Massa wasn't around. And Massa and they on that big nice bed with springs and feathers and stuff. And they just got to jumping. She had her baby girl with it just jumping up and down on the bed. Enjoying, just destroying Massa nice sheets and bed. That's not her house. Why is she worried it was gonna break a spring? Why is she gonna crush some feathers? That ain't her bed. She live in a shack and sleep on a rack. Nah, this ain't my house. Listen, when you get Antifa out there and Black Lives Matter and White Lives Matter and some skinheads with some Ku Klux Klan, everybody like, look, we're gonna defund taking the land from the people. We're going to take the land from the corporations and the billionaires, the international conglomerate holding companies, and get the land back to the Americans. When you out there with like defund land ownership by non-biological creatures, then okay, we got something. Then I clean up. Then shoot, listen. If it's mine, Miss Tree, let me ask you a question. When you get a rental car, when you're done with it, do you like clean it? Or you just kind of clean it to make sure that they take that joker back and not give you a fee? When I get the rental car, it's not my car. It's not my car. So nah, no, sorry. We own the land again. Yeah, all right, great. This is mine. I can hand it down. That's great too, right? But if you're gonna hit me with a death tax and take it and steal it, ain't nobody got no time for that. Ain't nobody got no time for that. Defund the police. Ain't nobody got no time for no. You need to come up with some real solutions. Ain't nobody got no time for that. MS-13 running on the street, running around. No, there are worse things. Worse things than Popo. All right, there are worse things than Popo. And it's called the other people the government made before they made Popo, which is why they made Popo. The people they wrote the laws for. The warrior genes are real. Okay? And they turned them on and impoverished people and all of these gangs and groups that y'all don't like so much. Absolutely no, Clef. Did you post that yesterday? I like that. BLM, Bureau of Land Management. Black Lives Matter, BLM. Isn't that interesting? Black Lives Matter. Because you know what? No Clef, I did a video, I just not too while ago, talking about the Bureau of Land Management and the Bundys and Lavoy Finicom. And I was doing, when I was doing a video and I was looking at the Bureau of Land Management. I was like, oh, they're talking about Black Lives Matter. It's like, it's interesting. You take something that's evil and you give people a good connotation with it. But still, it's all goes back to the same thing, right? They're managing the land and they're keeping it from the ecosystems, from the people that need it, so that they will create groups called Black Lives Matter. And nobody sees that. Isn't that interesting? That is very interesting, No Cliff Sparks. Somebody posted that yesterday. I don't know if that was you. I didn't read. I saw it later. My apartment was built in the 1900s. My sister and I see spirits here. My sister can see. Lily, that is not a lie. Spiritual universal law. They cannot harm you. Lily, ooh, did I tell you my ghost? Did I tell y'all my ghost story? Y'all want to hear my ghost story? I'm going to read comments. We're going to leave. Y'all want to hear the ghost story? Did I tell that ghost story before? I'm literally in my bed right now. I am 12 inches from the spot where I knocked, to let y'all know that right there, the day I realized that ghosts are real. Oh, ghosts real as hell. I don't know what the hell they are. They real as hell. Oh, but then you know what? I'm not gonna waste your time with that. If y'all want to hear, but I'm gonna say this, is that there are ghosts everywhere. We don't know what it is. Lori wants to hear the story. All right, Lori. So I was asleep right here, because I'm actually in my bed right here. There go my pillow. My pillow. You can't see it. And I was sleeping. I was home alone with nobody here. The kids wasn't here. And I just woke up in the middle of the night. And something said, knock on the wall. Right? Like something didn't say it. It was, I didn't hear an audible voice, or I don't think I did. So I woke up and I knew I was supposed to knock on the wall. It's weird and creepy, and I can't explain it. I'm not even gonna try to, but I knew I had to knock on the wall. So I was tired. It'd take me a minute to get up, but I knew I had to knock on the wall. And so I did that. I knocked on the wall. Please don't knock on that. Oh, y'all should, because I'm on the video. And something knocked back. Something knocked back, Lily. Something knocked back. And terror, fright, insanity, just everything took over me at a moment in time, because I'm laying in the bed and I'm trying to tell myself that the kids are home, because the kids, that room over there, that the kids are home, and their kids weren't home. Wasn't nobody. It was just me. I knew it was me, just me. And I was like, well, maybe they snuck in. Maybe their mama dropped them off or something, and maybe the kids are home. Kids was not home. I sat there. I was actually shaking for a little while, Lily, because I always thought that ghosts were real. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that people know what they are. I think we like to what's it called? Anthropomorphizing, where we like to say it's us, right? You know, like how you look at shapes and you see things that you're familiar with. You want to make Yogi Bear or humanish, stuff like that. Anthropomorphing, I think it's called. People see spirits and they want to make them human. So we've convinced ourselves that they're dead people and they're humans. They may or may not be. But that was the day that, I knew when that thing knocked back. It was like, yeah, not only, but by the morning time, and I know I didn't go back to sleep. It was no sleeping after that. I was done. But by the morning time, I realized that, you know what? Spirits are most likely probably everywhere. And we just don't know what they are. Like, they could be multi-dimensional wave energy creatures, something, whatever. I don't know, but I think they're everywhere. And I think the vast majority don't want to bother you. Like, I think the ghost stories and television, they got their own little narratives. They know how to sell things and whatever, and make people scared, horror stories. I think they're everywhere. I think that the same way bacteria, Lily, does not see us, and the viruses don't really see us, I don't think we see them. They're on a different plane, string theory, the multiverse, whatever. I don't know, stuff like that. But yeah, that was the day I was just like, yep, ghosts are real, but I'm pretty sure that they're everywhere. And I got another ghost story, but I won't tell it right now. So they're real. They're absolutely real. But I don't think that they're out to get you. I don't think. I think maybe there are some dark spirits every now and then, but those are the ones that, you know, that interface with you. I think that it's here and these things pass through you all the time. All right. Who was the chief of the federal prison that died from pizza something? Ooh, Jimmy, I don't know. Who was that? You can't defund the Federal Reserve. It's privately owned. Well, Sarah, you can. Sarah Mayo. Well, let me clarify. So when I say defund the Federal Reserve, I'm basically saying get rid of it. I'm just using a play on the whole defund the police, like get rid of it, get rid of it. You know, we can get rid of it, like, but we have to get rid of the law, what is the Federal Reserve Act, and you have to get rid of the Act of 1871. You can't just stop at the Federal Reserve Act. So, you know, you can get rid of that purse and it won't really matter. Like, you still got a problem if a government feels that they have the ability to rule and own you and write law, and they own their own purse. They can't own the purse. I think the purse either has to be an organic thing or it shouldn't exist. It has to be organic, nobody controls it, or it shouldn't exist. Because whoever controls it is going to own you, right? And that's why the Rothschilds, all they needed to do was own whoever printed the money. So we don't logically, and I think you're relatively new. You've been here for a week or it's changed, but I don't see a reason for money to exist. I ask my folks that all the time. I say, you know, well, why? What reason do we have money to exist for anyway? And no one's given me a good reason why money should continue to exist. We have 3D printing. We can print everything everybody wants. We have the resources. We can grow the hemp. We can use the material. We can do it organically and naturally, and we can do it with automated robots. We can 3D print houses for everybody, cars, everything. Harvest the resources, grow the food. So what's the point of money if everything could be free if we chose to? And that would be on a fraction of the spending we do for a war to go blow up people and steal what they have. So I'm not a moneyer. I don't think the problem is capitalism, communism, or socialism. I think the problem is capital. The only reason money was created is to get us to go do some work for somebody else. That's why money was created. When we were on the farm, we had our own food, we had our freedom, kids, we had everything we needed, water. We didn't need to work for anybody else. They took money and put it between us and survival. And so that enslaved us. And so money is a representation of human labor. And that's why slavery existed. Oh, y'all, goodness gracious, you shouldn't have been here when all the people got upset with me. I like to say things that upset people, not really, but to get them to think. Because when I think about things and I question it, it's like, yeah, slavery had nothing to do with race. It had nothing to do with race. And racism wasn't even a discussion. They went over there and the black kings, they in Butu and Gawa, hey, listen, we got the weak tribe over here. You give us them guns, we'll go get them people for you. And they went and did it. So slavery had nothing to do with racism. That's why I'm not interested in fighting racism. I realize it's all about money and power. You know, and if you go look up the history of slavery, you realize that every now and then the slavers got, because the African kings got tired. Like, we can't keep catching these people for you. You need to have to go get some of these Negroes yourself. We tired. We kings. So you go get them. This is where they're located. And they sent the white folk to go get the king, go get the weaker tribes. And every now and then, those people who are hired by billionaires and trading companies, been back to Beaufont's comment, World Trade Organizations and things like that, they would grab the wrong person. We talked about this a while ago. And they would grab like a princess or a nephew or somebody from a king. And you know what those kings did? They would call America. The African kings would call, they'd pick up that phone back then. America, yeah, y'all done grab Umbaswe. Yeah, y'all need to send him back. You got the wrong one. You supposed to go get them other Negroes, not that Negro. And guess what they did? They got sent back. Sent back. I never knew that. I found that out about a year ago. That's why history is an amazing thing. And it clarifies that we're always being divided up against each other by these ruling elite, people who claim the authority to own us. And the kings in Africa thought they owned everybody like the kings in America, like the kings in Britain, like the kings everywhere. Our war is with authority. Our war is ownership. Our war is not with white people or black people, any of that dumb stuff. And so they got sent back. They literally got sent back. While my black A had to stay here. That's why I'm mad at my ancestors, kind of, sort of. That's why I agree with Kanye West. And I tell everybody we was wrong. I wasn't wrong. When I say we, I mean you, because I had no problem with what Kanye said to begin with. I didn't agree with him completely, but the one part where he said slavery is a choice, he was right. But put it in the context of you let somebody grab you and take you somewhere, slavery is a choice. You let somebody put a face diaper on you before you go outside, slavery is a choice. You let somebody make your children wear face diapers and stand 6 feet apart from the other kids they need to play with so they can be healthy, strong, immune system working children. Slavery is a choice. We choose to what we will be enslaved to. So then I'm not upset with my ancestors. Don't say that. I'm not saying that. And came from Britain and Africa and Ireland and Cherokee and one other place, some little island out there somewhere. I'm not mad at them. I think they did what was right at the time. They did what they thought was best. I'm using what's called, what is that called when you look back? Hindsight is 2020. And now I get it. You know, they didn't get it back then. They didn't have an internet. I have an internet now. I realize that it's always the people who claim to the authority to rule are scamming everybody else. And so now when my hindsight is 2020, I'm taking everything they gave me and I'm using that to say, no, slavery needs to end. It all needs to end. Right? The ability of a few to dictate the outcome of the many, that has to end now. So I do my best to not support any of those systems. But yeah, no, slavery had nothing to do with racism. I mean, the only aspect that had to do with color was the landowners, which were less than 2% of the people at the time, were tired of the Irish guys that kept running off of the plantation. Because they were grabbing Irish people, they bring them over in them boats, because they wrote that kidnapping law. And so they bring the Irish kids over here, and the ones who actually lived, which is probably mostly the boys, because you grab a 10-year-old girl and you put her on a boat back in 16, whatever, 17, whatever, and a bunch of men, dirty, filthy, foul, moralist, ethicless men who were so poor that they couldn't stay in Britain or Ireland, that you had to send them to America and sit on a boat with other nasty, stinky men with no food and scurvy and disease, and you die, you get thrown overboard with sharks, because that was poor people. Nobody, the only wealthy people were the captains and their friends. It was all poor people who had to get, you know, that was like one of the number one reasons people died was getting on the boats. This is why you got the Admiralty law where they had to sign their name in all caps, the same way the United States Incorporated signed, because it's dead. You had to get on the boat and write your name in all caps, because that means you're dead. And when you get back, if you live, and most didn't live, you write your name in lowercase, because it was such tumultuous travel. But anyway, the whole point was, if you were an Irish boy, you finally made it after all the Irish girls who died in slavery, which is what that was, because they died. They were nabbed and they died on the boat, probably after being raped hundreds of times by grown men. So don't doo-doo on their memory. There's a lot of people who lost their lives for these colonizers, all right? And they all had all color skins. And then the boys who actually made it, and they, after a few years, like, you know what? I'm supposed to work on this thing for 7 years. That's what they grabbed me off the street. Y'all ain't no right to grab me. Y'all ain't no right to grab me off the streets of islands with a kidnapping law from Britain because you colonized Ireland. Hell no. Hell no. Go to hell. I'm running off of this thing. I look like the other white people. No. I can comb my hair that way. I can find me some nice threads or something. I'm going to blend in with the population. And that's the only aspect that had to do with race or skin color. Was when the landowners decided we need to get somebody from the Arab slave trade. Not no American slave trade, it didn't exist. We need to get somebody from the Arab slave trade that don't look nothing like the people that are here. And that's what it was all about. All right. And then all the African kings sold you out. You will always be sold out. That's just you'll always be. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. That's all you got to think about. You can throw out your white guilt, your white privilege, your white supremacy, your white, all that stuff that these colonized black people want you to say. Piss off other people so they won't unite with you, so you can actually end this system and restart the plantation. That's what you got to do. All right, let me see. Rebel with a cause. Yes, Maria, be a rebel, and not for kicks. I don't like that whole rebel for kicks thing. Is this the wrong damn song? No, this is it. This is my end. All right, now I got to do the free to people. Then we're gonna go. Yeah, be a rebel for a cause. Do not be a rebel for kicks, for colonizers, for black elites, for white elites, for Democrats, Republicans, the tops of Black Lives Matter, Antifa, no skinheads, no white. All those people got real stories, but they're trying to use the fact that they were abused to abuse other people and take control of the system. Nope, the whole system needs to end. The brain is a powerful thing. I'm able to make myself sick by thinking about it for a long period of time. My doctor says I'm psychosomatic. Ooh. Yes, well, you know what? The brain is a powerful thing, Riley. There's a whole lot we don't understand about people and the human brain. Don't piss anybody off. It's a good idea because we never know what anybody can do with their brain. If you can manifest it, you can achieve it. If you can think it, you can achieve it. Like human beings that we used to talk about before you came around this way, that human beings are just manifestation engines, right? Everything we've conceived, we've achieved. Everything in the human race, everything is coming real. Everything. From the boat to the gun to the fax machine, the car, the wheel, the cart, everything that we think about comes true. We looked up, we saw the air and the birds flying, we made airplanes, right? The aliens came by and they called them gods, and that's okay, nothing wrong with that. So, we need to go to space. Guess what? We made spaceships and went to space. Everything we conceive, we achieve. And so the scary thing about that, so we talk about time travel. Yeah, of course we invent time travel. We all don't die. But the human brain is an amazing manifestation thing. And I think it has a lot to do, Riley, with this Akashic record thing that people talk about. I listen to my warlocks and my witches, and they talk about that type of stuff. You interface with this Akashic record thing when you go to sleep. Edgar Casey mentioned it. Einstein mentioned it. Nikola Tesla mentioned it, that they just wake up and they have solutions. And sometimes we do it. I do it on accident, Riley, when like working on software and I can't solve a problem or something else. If I step away or go to sleep, whatever, come back, magically I got the solution. And then people say that's like your conscious mind interfacing, or your subconscious interfacing with the Akashic record, that you have to take your conscious mind off the task and hand it to your subconscious mind, go do something else. Your subconscious mind interfaces, whatever it might be, or God, whatever y'all want to call it. I'm fine. I don't care what y'all call it. And then all of a sudden, boop, you got the answer and how to do it. So we are manifestation engines, but the human brain is an amazing thing. I think we need to be very careful. I don't think everything in the Mahabharata was aliens. I think a lot of it was humans. We just lost our ability to do a lot of things because we created circuit board based technology. And that's kind of dictating where we're going with evolving at this point in time. All right. That was a lot. Mouthful, losing my voice. I got to get out of here. Divine inspiration. Something like that, Christine. We don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. That's why I'm not in combat with the religious people, or no scriptures or scripts or anything. I don't know what God is, but I know something is out there and something is driving all of this. I do know that. I don't know what it is. Like somebody said a while ago, focus on the message, ignore the messenger. Free the people, and you ain't never gonna free them until you ally with people that you need to ally with. Realize that they treat you like a dog. They give you an identity to attach a leash to you, to drag you around by the mainstream media, so the other people will fight you. And as long as poor people are fighting poor people for their skin color, for where they were born, for the bigotry they were given, as long as they don't put each other in each other's shoes and realize that the only way you're going to take this system down together, you can pretty much throw that freedom thing away. You ain't freeing nothing. You're going to stay a slave because you're a part of the system. When Black Lives Matter get together with White Lives Matter, yellow, purple, red, green, and everyone come together and realize that you're just legs holding up a table with your own little apathy, your own little ignorant identity, until you figure that out, we're always going to be slaves. Until you follow a lot of that divine inspiration Christine's talking about, closing down the zoos, and realize you can't judge nobody for where they were born or what they've gone through, and you ain't got no clue what they've been through. You're an ignorant fool if you think that you understand what white people went through or black people went through, because there's no such thing as white people and black people. All you got are persons, and everybody's got their own individual experience. And let go of that sociopathic thing called politics, because that's what it's based on. You getting together with a group of other people who think they're right, and because there's more of y'all, you're going to force other people who have different experiences, different persons, to live like you or do what you want them to do. That's why I'm a sovereignty guy. I don't believe in politics anymore. It's a sociopathic, insane plan that never should have been given. Never should have been given to us. And I think we need to see through the system. When the Matrix gives you a chance to change it, which is what it's doing right now, we need to change it. Listen to somebody giving a speech downtown and they end up, this is why we need to get out and vote, then you realize that that is somebody who wants to keep the system. The system needs to go away. We need to break it down at its core and make a government, get a new government, and make a government that listens to the people instead of the corporations. All right. We are all we are all exactly how we should be. And if we are not, we would not be. And this is why, Riley, that is very deep. I don't know how you found this, but that is very deep. I like to say it in a way that I view everybody, Riley, as perfect. Everybody's perfect, except for me. Jonathan, who is that? No, it's Anthony is exactly who he needs to be. Lori's who she needs to be. Annie's who she's in my eyes. In my eyes, Christine is perfect. Jimmy T is exactly he. Miss Tree done got it going on. Riley got it going. Willow got it going. Patricia, Beaufont, Maria, they all got it going on. I have no business telling them any damn thing. All I got to do is realize that I ain't perfect. I try to be a better Gerard tomorrow than I am today. I try to be a little better today than I was yesterday, and I don't worry about anybody else. You know, they're sovereigns, right? I have no interest. They're perfect. They're where they need to be right now. The only one who's where they not need to be in my eyes is me. I quit playing God years ago. Oh, we gonna end on mystery. Stop playing God. That's it. You ain't God. You ain't God. You ain't God. Nope. You got a chariot? Do you fly? No, you don't. You got a lightning rod? You got a Thor hammer? You got any of that stuff? No. Okay. You ain't God. You're not God. You don't know. You literally don't know what anybody's been through. Well, we should live like Democrats. No, they shouldn't, because you're stupid. You're ignorant. Not stupid. You're ignorant. Everybody should live like Republicans. No, they shouldn't. First of all, the Democrats don't believe in democracy anyway, and the Republicans don't believe in a republic. But either way, they haven't lived how the others live. You've literally been grouped together by ignorant people at the top who claim they own you, who stole all your land, and they stole your resources, and they claim that they own everything, including your children and your marriage. They killed God, and now God is your ignorance. They literally replaced God with your ignorance, teaming up with other people, trying to tell other people, persons, what to do, based on the people group concept. Anyway, if that makes sense to you, I get going. Stop being bubble people, not bubble people. Gotta be a little dirty, gotta get outside. But if you're scared of viruses, you're scared of dirt and bacteria, and you don't really understand what you are running from yourself. And as Bob Marley said, you keep running and you're running and you're running, but you will never run away from yourself. We are not these clean, sterile, ignorant things that Fauci and Gates and people who are fighting viruses want you to be. You will never live in a bubble. You only die in a bubble. Gerard, y'all have a great weekend. Love y'all to death. I'm out.